They know that, so now they want to start off strong, maybe get that point in, start strong with the draft with that first pick gambit.
Well, let's see if that happens, but also for all you guys watching on TikTok, don't forget to head over to our official TikTok page to join the lottery.
That's right. Just open your TikTok app, go to the MPL Philippines TikTok channel. That's at MPLPH_official. Then click on the official live stream, and then you'll be able to get those rewards on the top left corner of your screen.
There it is. Make sure you guys join that, and don't forget, too, I believe there's a 2,000 diamonds up for grabs as well. And so make sure you join everything that we have for you guys here. Now, we're just moments away from this draft to kick off here. And I know we've had a break, gentlemen, and we've been watching some of the other happenings around the leagues going around the world.
Yeah.
And we know, I guess you could say, the meta has been set in. It's set in really well. And if you look at the rest of the world, there's still some surprises popping up, right? Real quick, too, there's today's schedule, Blcklist versus Mnne Evos, and we'll see who moves on later. Now to the draft as we get ready for this to kick off in game number 1 for the first series of the day. Remember, somebody going home, and we got the fancy countdown as well.
All right.
Man, the crowd is ready for this one as both teams have a huge showing for both sides here for us. And I can't wait to see it unfold. Now, as we wait for that to pop up, are we still expecting the Spider Miles bands coming through? Okay, there's the first 3 from Blcklist International.
I guess don't fix what's not broken. A lot of teams have been able to actually take advantage of that against Mnne, forcing Spider Miles onto other heroes. Obviously, Spider Miles has been able to really deal with it, but you know what? It just does affect how they kind of draft around it.
Yeah, but again, if it's an unknown enemy you're facing, you gotta check in what kind of information you have. So with the Angela band, the Faramis band, and the Matilda band, they're respecting both the firepower that Lancey can bring in, and of course, what Spider Mouse is known for. First pick up for Blacks International, we're waiting for that. They are known to just lock in the Fredrin since it is open. Givritson Sui has a pretty good win rate on that, and there it is.
There it is, locked in. Fredrin picked up. Old Faithful, if you will, right? The 79 times, 85% contention rate. Fredrin is still him for that jungle pick. We'll see what the answer is going to be, though, for Mnne Evos. And I'm just admiring, real quick, the effects we have behind us that we have seen in the past as well on the monitors. I'm looking at the crowd's reaction, man. They are loving it. So with that, I'm wondering, does Mnne Evos specifically pick up their jungle pick now? Can they wait for it? Do they just want to go ahead and lock in? Okay, that sounds like they're going to go this route anyway. Picked up Barrett's and the Moskov.
Yeah, Moskov has been building up stock all around the world. The one time that he has been seen in MPL Philippines, first picked up by Kelra from Fnatic Onyx, did not do so well in the regular season. This time around, they're looking to correct that and build up the stock of this monstrous menace in the gold lane.
It's actually very difficult to deal with here. A lot of times when the Moskov goes past 15 minutes, 18 minutes, you can really expect them to really destroy someone. That attack speed scales up so quickly.
Yeah, it's I guess one of the biggest things is when you utilize that ultimate, right? The timing on it. It's great that it's global. But it's also, you've seen it not work in favor of teams that do like to pick up the Moskov here.
Here we go with the Edith, likely to go into the Rome. And of course, they pick up the Vexana. That is US #1 hero. An astronomical number of reps. And of course, a win rate that just benefits Blacks International.
Even with the patch, right? Like, people have already been used to seeing Vexana in the mid lane. And obviously, with that Edith, kind of still flexible. XP lane still pretty good.
This is still the Sensui instincts, gentlemen. You saw there, he is leading. Sensui leads the steals in Lords and Turtles. And, that's something you have to keep an eye on, because if you were watching during that week when we talked specifically about Sensui Ultra Instinct, he's able to pull some miraculous steals off, and it's kind of crazy that you actually need to keep an eye on that specifically against Sensui alone. And so with that, to round out that first phase, Minotaur is going to be picked up and locked in for Mnne Evos.
Oh, that's a hero that Blacklist actually favors banning. They like banning Minotaur, 4th most banned for them across the regular season. So now that Spider Miles has a hero in his hands that he's very comfortable with, I'm wondering if Kaiser's actually been playing the Barats, because Kurt can actually switch it up. Look at this Hellkurt ban. The Hellcurt ban, ladies and gentlemen, is explained by the fact that usually now Hellcurt is put in the roam role. And
Who
you can
did
just-
that?
Who did that?
Right?
You could actually just throw on the Edith into the XP lane, call it a day, and then pick up that Hellcurt. It's very doable.
Yeah, I think this is one of the major things that happened after the patch. Like, people have been starting to really explore it, especially in other regions.
Yeah.
Right? Indonesia's the first one to feel the impact of this hero
yeah.
revamp.
Yep, definitely. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Hellcurt slip through the cracks throughout at least these next 5 days for the playoffs and have an impact, of course, you know, with the way that's changed. So these last couple bans are going to come out here. We know Gold Lane's still up for grabs. We saw so much Harith before it is banned out this time around. So I'm wondering, right, what do you want to match up against the Mozkov for Blacklist International?
All right, Blacklist International, you're looking at their choices. You can put a Nathan, you can put a Claude onto Oheb here, and both are solid pickups. I don't think any of them are banned, are bad choices. But check this out, the CC. The CC is actually one of Edward's best picks in the regular season, and the fact that Mnne Evos are onto it makes sure that the engagement on the Barats and the Minotaur aren't as easily punished. So there's no bad targets for them to dive onto.
Wow.
Yeah, those stats, man.
Stats,
I know you were reacting to those as well, Rockhart, because who's in the crowd cheering there?
We have a very interesting crowd here for Blacklist International. Some homecoming.
I was gonna say it's funny seeing them out there, right?
Yeah, a little bit crazy.
Of course, but so, and I like the fact that you have this discussion of the different shades of Ube, because you're going to see that obviously go head-to-head here in this matchup, but even so, with the Minotaur locked in, like you guys said, you guys saw the stats there, the healing potential with this Minotaur pick, especially once that Flask of the Oasis is locked in,
Yeah.
it's hype, and look at that, there it is, the Royal Duo out here to support Blacklist, of course.
And
Now-
one of Manjean's teammates. Or, no, enemies. Not teammates. Sorry.
Bitter rivals.
Bitter rivals.
rivals.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
There it is.
There's a Yuzhong
Pretty
looking
good
to
pickup.
dive onto the Vexana and whatever the gold laner on Blacklist might be. So can hunt down the Nathan, can hunt down the Claude, if ever. That's on Kirk. I wonder. They're still looking for a gold laner here and an XP laner.
Okay.
Man, that's a
XP.
really bulky lineup we have here right now for Minana, and almost all of them is physical damage, so they're going to have to go heavy, go ham
Yeah, you can
on this
put
mid lane
a-
pick leader.
You can put a Benedetta on Edward here.
Good. Oh, there's the Claude.
What did I say? I hate it when I'm right. Oh, wait, what?
What?
Where's
Wait,
the Benedetta?
Wait,
no,
is
where's
this
the Benedetta?
I was gonna say, we had this happen in the regular season
Okay.
Right.
where it showed Khalid, but it was the Benedetta, so we'll have to wait.
So which is which?
Which is
No,
which?
It's Benedetta. It's written there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's
All
a
right.
Benedetta.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
I take it back. I hate it when I'm right.
Rewind. All right, that's locked in.
Small.
And yeah, and the Claude too, of course, being picked up here for Oheb, going against that Mozkov. And now this last pick, what are we feeling from Mnne?
Very
Still need a
heavy.
mid laner, gentlemen. And the Valentina is the last one left. No Faramis,
Yeah.
no Lo Yi,
No
no
Novaria.
Lilia,
Not
no
even
Novaria,
Lilia, right? So,
No Vex.
wow.
That's all that's left.
That is a tricky position Minana's in right now in
Put
terms
the
of mid
Val.
lane.
And then if you pick the Valentina, there's nothing to steal.
So, Lancey, what's in your pool, man? What's in your pool?
Okay, that was definitely not a what I was thinking.
Aurora.
Wait, Aurora. Okay.
All right.
This has actually experienced a pick already here for a few teams already.
TNC Pro
Yeah,
Team.
TNC,
Used
right.
to rock it a lot in the
It
regular
was pretty
season.
good. Hatred played it
Optimistically speaking, it was pretty good.
on its own, just on its own, right? It
Yeah.
didn't really mesh well
In
with
a-
a comp. That's a problem.
In a vacuum, yes.
Yeah, so
If you think about it, the amount of CC here from Mnne Evos is devastating.
Through the roof, actually.
Yeah, because you have Daytona's Welcome, you can lock down someone exactly when you want to, and then of course into the Glacier, into every other piece of CC you have available to you. So I feel like that's one of the biggest challenges that Blacklist International has to approach this. And I think that's why even the Claude works so great, because you can kind of go in and out, pull little Bobby tricks, if you will. But with that, I think it's really playing around the multitude of CC that's going to be thrown at Blacklist International if they want to go ahead and grab this first game victory here. So, all you watching in the chat right now, let us know who you think is going to go ahead and win this series. Starting off with this first game, is it going to be Mnne Evos? Is it going to be Blacklist International? Who gets that first blood in the series in the first best of 5? Remember, it's an elimination match ahead of us. And I feel like people have been waiting for this.
But also remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
You gotta take your time with your strats, gotta take your time with your endurance, because also take note, whoever wins is facing off against a fresh, fanatic Onic that's been watching from the sides.
And
so,
hydrate, basically.
Something to note, the lineup on Mnne Evos, yes, definitely has a lot of CC on it.
Yeah.
But is it reliable damage that's coming up after? You're only really looking at the Moskov and the Aurora. What if one of them gets popped prior to the major engagement?
I mean, that's the thing, right? Mnne Evos' lineup feels very powerful, but it has to be done in a very specific order. That crowd control cannot all go in at the same time.
That's right.
And if that chain gets disrupted, it can really be deadly.
I think that's why, again, if you're Mnne Evos, Barrett's alone. Barrett's in the Fredrin. Like, the beginning turtle dances alone are so crucial with this.
Yep.
Because, again, we're talking about the fact that it's Sensui for one. He's on that comfort pick. They picked it up first pick. So you really want to be able to establish your momentum if you're Mnne Evos going forward here. And that starts with that first objective, that first turtle.
Yep, not to mention that this is Sensui's Fredrin. I'm assuming that it's going to be rocking the support emblem, which will ensure its nigh off cooldown dashes much, much faster on the mechanics. And I think that's what explains Blcklist's lineup rating. Their laning potential so much higher because, again, there's more reliable damage across the board. Their mobility also much higher. And it's just easier for them to say, we'll do this at any point in the game. As for Mnne Evos, there's at least 2 or 3 lines of communication and entry points for them to consider before things go their way.
And a lot of it actually does rely on like really good shot calling.
Yeah.
To be fair, shot calling has always been the issue here for a lot of our teams. Let's see if that's going to change here today.
Well, we're going to find out. The crowd is ready. We're here to kick off into the Champions Arena. It's the first match, an elimination match for Blcklist International and Mnne Evos. Both teams getting situated in the jungle. And as we get ready for this, we'll have to keep track of these rotations, things getting settled in on the jungle specifically. And real quick too, we'll take a look at the emblems in just a second to see if anything sticks out. But, Sensui, hey, he's rocking the Concussive Blast this time around.
Yep, Concussive Blast with a, let me hold my tongue there. It's actually a tank Fredrin with Thrill. So he's trying to make up for the lack of cooldown with just reliable damage early on.
And that can work, actually. Pure damage, every one of your shots can do a lot more. Kirk with a kill, though.
Kirk!
Whoa!
Pulled the full combo.
Man, Kirk. Already, leading into this, I was like, if Mnne Evos gets the momentum going, they can start it with the first turtle. They did it before that. Stone
Cold Kirk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not so sure if you caught the player cam as that solo kill happened, but Kirk just sat into his chair after that kill on Agent Zero.
Wow. All right. That's the best start you can expect for that Yuzhong matchup. Obviously, Yuzhong not so great if he actually gets, not yet ramping here, especially without Dragon Form. But you know what? That was interesting. How that start, we'll see. For later on, though, as we do see the majority of Banana players going up on top side.
Man, this early on, not even with the turtle spawning, Mnne Evos already going for the Ube. So this is how they're going to try to expedite that whole communication line issue. They're just going to always be going on Ube mode.
Yeah, that's a shade.
Three-man knock-up here, and the follow-up is disrupted. It is massive right now. Obviously, with a little bit of time being bought here, and a kill being picked up as well for Mnne Evos. It's a 1 for 1, or 2 for 1 rather. It's going to be a turtle advantage, though.
That's the shades of Ube we're talking about. I'm still going.
There you go, just non-stop action, and there you go. That's the crowd control available for them, but it's all just that. Crowd control, no damage follow-up. That is turtle going over the Blcklist.
Oh my goodness. What a start. A little messy, a little chaotic, but wow, Leo.
I was just going to say, of all of the members of Blcklist in the first minute of the game, the one that can really afford the death would be Edward, because the rest of Blcklist would be rotating up anyways. And that gave Mnne Evos, I reckon, in my reading of the situation, a false sense of security. They thought they could Ube their way, finesse their way into an early position, and Blcklist says, nah, fam, check it out. We've been doing Ube since 2021, and they got it right there.
It was actually a pretty good timing because some of the members of Banana were not level 4 yet.
Yeah.
So they timed it perfectly, or they saw an opportunity, and they went for it.
That's right. They thought they got it. but Blcklist read the room and saw the entry point, and now they're sitting at a 500 gold lead. Mnne was now in recovery mode. That does not mean that this the second Lord in a minute is just clearly Blcklist.
Yeah.
I think Mnne can still contest, but the key is they gotta start checking themselves, man. Check these bushes.
And you see that item pickup already from Edward has that halberd available now.
Oh
so,
boy.
he was the first blood to Mnne, then he gets 2 kills out of the last exchange, and now he has solved the deal, the problem at least, with that early sustainability provided from Spider Miles.
Solve the problem, he became the problem.
Yeah. So now, for Mnne Evos, that is tough to deal with in this early portion of the game. Look at the matchup too, just between the Frederick and the Barretts here. Obviously highly in favor of the Chad of the Land of Dawn, Frederick.
Yep, truth be told, the Appraiser has been the most winningest hero for the better part of the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yep, and this stat is going to be true for most matchups. But wait, check it out.
If there's so many nerfs right now, though, it is going to be Sensui in trouble here. Played around with the Pride of Ice, and now Edward has to make his way out. Or will he? Are you trapped here with me, or am I trapped here with you? Or have that the other way around. So right now, obviously Mnne fighting back, showing at least they have some fight in them.
Okay, so they at least get Sensui down from that. Still whittling down the gold a little bit. It wasn't anything crazy to begin with, but now that this objective is up, the turtle is up here.
Well, how long did it take?
Yeah, that's true.
And how many heroes did they send?
Good point.
Anything is better than nothing for Mnne Evos at this point because of how that last exchange went minutes ago. So they're going to go ahead and start up this turtle. Both teams getting in position. You can already see Kaizen making his way as well.
Ooh.
We'll see if they get in this position. Domeng and Oheb just farming up.
Key pickups on the mid laners. Yue had just picked up a necklace of Durans. So you're going to stop Kirk, you're going to stop Miles, even Kaizen from getting some healing on. And then you'll check out Lancey, first pick up the Queen's Wings. So he knows that he has to be the target more often than not. So he has 2 layers now of protection from aggression. That shield and that passive. But look at that, Blcklist finessing a free turtle.
Queensix actually could really come in clutch later, and sometimes that's something that you don't really expect, especially if you're screaming 1v1.
Yeah.
You're right, that could be deadly, and this could be massive here.
Yeah, it's a good start, especially that first item, because really for Lancey, you want to just go ahead and get the freeze off if you can, and then drop the ultimate. Try to freeze down as much as you can. Okay, they're not going to. Oh, hold on, he's going for Haji.
Charges straight for it, and of course the stun is going to come in clutch. Good freezing coming in from Mnne, and the damage is true. Not even Haji can withstand it. And Sensui falling soon as well. Kirk with a double kill.
Man, Mnne Evos striking back here, and yes, Kirk back on the board with this Yuzhong. What a setup and play there from Mnne.
Nothing comes for free. They win the fight, but they lose the battle up top. Agent Zero was just finessing his way into a turret take, setting up another amazing turtle for Blacks International. That's the long lane. Edward has been living in the long lane ever since he won the Season 7 championship. They pioneered the Lord Dance. So now you're going to see them take control of the lower lane too. Oh,
that is a lot of gold going to their pockets. What will Mnne do in response though? They're getting ready to set up a fight maybe. But don't forget, Blacklist also has a free man unit that's quite strong with crowd control, and they can get even an Eternal Guard on their side.
This is funny because, both teams have their own forms of Ube here. This is like the most action Ube playstyle has seen early on, I feel like. For the most part, usually it's a slow kind of build up. Hold on, Kirk.
Oh, Kirk is fighting, and Edward just taking him easily. 1v1, mano-y-mano, no problemo here.
Wait, he had ult, but he just, he wouldn't be able to get away with the dragon form?
He had ult and he had Petrify. That is an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, slow down a bit here, and nom goes the dinosaur here. Kaizen fighting off again. That crowd control we're talking about here. Boy, Mnne is really coming in strong here. But here comes Oheb with that blazing duet, just tearing it up quite easily here for Blacklist. And that's another tower down. So much gold inside of the agents.
Okay, in that very engagement, wherein you could have sworn Mnne Evos was ahead, they had 2 turrets sandwiching Blacks International and their coalition. It's a matter of reliable damage now. Yes, there was an amazing Minoan Fury, but was the damage going to the right target? Sensui could have died. Sensui was frozen for a good solid second and a half, but no one was hitting him. And that's because Doming was down bottom. Doming was pushing. So now Mnne Evos are clearly behind. For the first time, I think, in this 8-minute bout, I'm going to say now Mnne Evos have some thinking to do.
Yeah, and I think even when you look real quick at just how both roams are doing here, you see that a lot of the heels going for Spider Miles, but the time control, that crowd control coming out from Haji with this Edith pick is paying dividends so far in these skirmishes, in these team fights. And so we'll see how the adjustments come through. Mnne Evos, the fact that they are just working on getting space across the map. Oh, Edward.
Oh, that combo with the Petrify, the Electro final blow here could have actually gone a lot done. Right now, with the support of Spider Mouse, he will be fine. And they're going for the re-engage. Great stun here coming in from Doming. No assist whatsoever needed. But look at that, the bottom lane being pushed again by Blcklist, man.
Ooh, it looks like they want to go straight for the jugular, want to pierce that bottom lane inhibitor. But just the same, Blcklist is going to lose that top lane tier 1. Interestingly, the map is rubber banding. The map is going back and forth. Oh, Doming!
Very heavily. Doming now uncontested. Haji can't really do much here. Sui trying to make sure his presence is known, maybe to try to attempt a hit here, but no. You went close by, Oheb. You're going to reset.
So with that, they get ready. They prepped and ready for this Lord. I would say Mnne Evos did the best they could given the situation to go ahead and try to set things up. So they're in a good position to dance for this Lord here because we know Blacklist International is going to want to go ahead and start that up and see how things go. You're seeing the breakdown here too between the gold laners falling into place. Now, positioning-wise, I feel like this is really where Doming on this Moskov is going to be crucial. He can actually go ahead and sit on one of these side lanes for now while the team starts up that Lord dance and then go ahead and spear his way into the fight. But that comes with a risk as well.
Yeah, again, the ever present question is, what if I miss?
What if I miss?
You can't just throw the spear of destruction willy-nilly and then hope for the best. But again, that's where Spider Miles will now come into play. He has the aim, his marksman. Weirdly enough, you aim Moskov, you aim Doming into a direction and make calls 10, 15 seconds into the future. That's what Mnne Evos is doing now, and that's what's allowing them to keep this gold lead from Blacklist down to a minimum, a manageable 800,000 gold ahead.
I wonder what that call sounds like. All right, Doming, it's a little southeast, northwest.
Southeast.
Northwest of here, throw the spear.
I mean, play-wise, right? Like, all right, we're going for this, we're going diving here, where we're going to be holding this out, throw it now, you know? It's more about when and where.
We'll see if that plays out. Once again, both teams holding on to this Lord dance. No one wants to commit just yet. And this, honestly, for Mnne Evos is going to help them kind of build up some of that gold, get to the items that they need, of course, for it. But the positioning, the CC that's going to be thrown by Mnne Evos is what's crucial here that Blacklist International avoids, and that's why they're taking this so slowly. They want to build up, and there's a big pickup, too, for Spider Miles, getting that Flask of the Oasis now.
Oh, nice knock up here again. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but there is a back attack here. Mnne Fury, a lot of people in the air, but they had the damage just not quite there. Oheb with the damage, and there you go. He's shut down by Doming. Doming's going crazy right now. Not from the Lord! Not from the Lord, man! That Lord assist was huge, and since Dewey gets it, what the heck just happened there?
The Lord happened. Blacklist International timed it well, and now Lancey's the only one left.
Oh, what a disaster!
Oh, man. What looks like a great setup for Mnne Evos. And even Doming coming in unleashing, but then trouble struck.
Watch this replay. Oh, my God.
It was almost perfect. Mnne Evos almost wiped out Blacklist International. Again, the whole Spear of Destruction play, the last-minute entry by Doming almost paid off. But check this out right here. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, God.
Little did they know Lord was on Blacklist side.
Like a trampoline. No, to be fair, I think Blacklist had some level of control there because they spaced out their members. They made sure that whoever was going to get jumped by Lord was okay to die, and then the rest would collapse on the collateral from Mnne Evos. That was amazing. Great work by Blacklist here.
Yeah, great positioning there and to deal with that. So given that whole exchange, they're going to get these tier 2 turrets down. Lord was already taken care of by Mnne Evos. They should be able to clear lanes pretty well with this lineup here. So for Blacklist International, they just have to be happy with what they were able to get themselves and play around this gold lead now that they've secured.
At the very least, you know what? Mnne Evos don't need to panic too much because Moscow scales so well.
Yeah.
They can drag this out to 20 minutes. They'll be fine for sure.
Yep. Again, going off of that tangent of wiping the waves and controlling the map, Mnne Evos is okay. Mnne Evos can actually do that. Worst case scenario, there's a threat of a penetration at 15 or 16. That's the worst case scenario.
As long as they don't get wiped out, maybe.
Yeah,
you know?
best case, Doming is able to work the side lanes, get a split push in, and then even try that same play again as they did from the Lord. Because again, it looks like it worked. All they needed to do was not get jumped.
Yeah.
Actually looked so good. Yeah.
But they're so good at that Lord. They're so good at that Lord fight. We saw Shades of Blacklist doing this in week 1, 2, and 3 of the regular season.
Yep.
And now it looks like they're back in shape.
They're back in shape, and you saw what they were able to get off that Lord advantage. Getting the space, getting the gold, and for Mnne Evos, you even saw how much damage Doming has done when he's compared, of course, over here to Oheb. Now, Oheb, it's a little bit harder because obviously you're just trying to get those stacks and then go in with that Blazing Duet, BMI on out of there. Doming's positioning is so much more crucial, especially if he's using that Spear of Destruction, and then, of course, the Inspire, but the amount of damage that he can put out in such a small amount of time is massive. But this is, again, against these heroes like what Haji has on this Edith, Sensui even, they're quite tanky. They're quite durable.
That's true.
And so that's part of the thing. Oh, no, Doming. Okay.
Wait, hold up.
Oh, boy.
All right, he's fine. He senses it.
He sensed it.
This is just game sense. This is game IQ.
That's
Again,
right.
you don't make it to the Champions Arena without having to cut your teeth, all right?
Cut your teeth?
It's a
Cut your
saying.
Is
It's
it?
I think.
Wow.
I heard my mom say it one time when I was like 6. Anyways, looking at this one more time again, the long lane worked here by Yue and Edward,
Yep.
while Doming here just trusting his sixth sense, knows that something is amiss. Because again, look at the map. All you can see in the map is actually Sensui, right? That's it. So I guess Mnne Evos, again, if there's something that you can trust with them, is their communication.
Yeah, the shot calling to stay on your toes, Doming. Right? Don't
do it.
Don't do it. Don't overextend. Obviously, they're still
Yes.
waiting there as well, Yue and Edward. So that's the information.
As strong as Doming is, he can only deal damage to 1 to 2 targets at a time. So if you get caught out, like there's only so much you can do. You can dash out once, and then just throw auto attacks in the middle.
Yeah, something else to note is we haven't really seen Kirk do much in the past, what?
Oh, yeah.
6 or 7 minutes?
That's true.
We need to see Kirk do amazing things, and that's going to come off the back of, I reckon...
Oh, no.
An early...
Oh, Haji missed it out. That was a massive use of the flicker here. And that could be something that Mnne can use here in the coming Lord fights. They know it's coming. They can buy a few more seconds. I think.
Doming timing, man. That's what I like to call athletic. He didn't need the flicker, though.
Reaction time.
Yep,
Reaction time.
That's brains and bronze right there. He saw it coming and he acted on it. Real quick, Kirk needs to come in with a preemptive Black Dragon form, a PBDF. If he
I'm not even going to try.
if he gets it down, it's
Yeah.
going to throw off Blacklist timing. It's been a while since we've seen Mnne Evos start a fight and actually win it.
That's true. And so with that, you can see the positioning still happening here. Mnne Evos respecting the lead that Blacklist does have. Even though that Haji doesn't have this flicker available to jump in with the onward, they still have to keep them at bay, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Another one that could have been problematic here.
There's Kirk.
Obviously, there's going to be a good freeze here for Sensui. Kirk going in. He's looking for trouble here, and he's the one who got found. Oheb can't go in. Blazing Duet already used up. Low HP on their marksman, and now it's Doming, who seems like he's ready to take these fights.
All right, free kill for Blacks International. And it looks like Mnne Evos does not want to leave the scene. This might actually be to their detriment.
Oh, no.
Doming 1v1 with Edward and Agent Zero coming out on top. And here's more. Blacklist are hungry for more here. Haji up on front. Sensui taking that Lord. Looking really good. Blacklist are right now 7K gold lead.
Abort mission.
Just when he thought he was safe, here comes Agent Zero. Able to get him out, and he just gets the Wind of Nature too for this, because now they have to deal with that, right? This is a massive momentum move for Blacklist International. Lord going down that mid side, and they'll have to defend against this. Again, their clear is pretty good as long as Doming isn't pressured too much. Oh, Daytona's welcome.
Oh, it's Banana's time to pressure now, and they are going to be able to take out Edward, at least for now. Immortality is there. Winter Transit just for good measure, and able to walk on out of there with the eye for an eye. Oh, another one. Good follow-up with Spear Destruction, but will not be enough to take the kill because everyone is up on the base.
He's got to clear. They go in.
Gotta go in here with No Fury at the back of Spider Miles, but the damage is already done here. Blacklist going hard alongside the Lord. Kirk on the back, trying to do as much as he can, but it's all for nil, as it will be a Blacklist game number 1. It's looking like it. They are damaging as much as they can. They're holding it off. What? The minions are alive. They cleared!
Oh, they cleared it!
That could have been massive. Wait a second!
And Blacklist International will take game number 1 in this first best of 5 against Mnne Evos.
All right, this all began in that failed Lord Dance. Blacklist International may have failed a jump on the doming, and that allowed for Mnne Evos to think that they can get away with a contest. Little did they know, and I'm pretty sure they were aware, that there was still a 5K gold lead on Blacklist.
Yeah.
And even if there were failed attempts, there was a pick-off that they missed out on. It just wasn't enough. The firepower was way too much. Again, it comes down to a matter of reliable damage. You see that towards that tail end, about 2-3 minutes, it was all on doming. If you cannot get doming to deal the damage that you expect them to, you have to find another way in. It's just so hard to beat Mnne Evos in that last game.
I like that you pointed that out earlier, before the game even started. Like I was saying, yeah, they have a ton of CC, but unfortunately, if they get targeted down, or let's say Doming got focused on taken out, their damage it tanks. It tanks at that point. And so it was a well-played decision from Blacklist International through that when they found their punishes. And again, you have to commend even Edward to put the pressure on Doming the way he did. That item switch to pick up that Winter Tranche to buy some more time, and then eye for an eye out of there. Those little things, those little interactions that people have seen from this legend Agent Zero, from Edward, whatever you want to call him, pays dividends for Blacklist International. A lot of their success here. So with that, again, the lineup was good. I'm not going to say, hey, Mnne Evos' lineup was good.
Yeah,
in theory, like face value, it's there. It's just unfortunate for them that the positioning wasn't in their favor, and Blacklist knew how to punish.
We talked about it, right? The chain of events that have to happen have to be so perfect
for Mnne Evos
to get an advantage.
Yeah, and I don't know, are we going to be naming an MVP that suffered a first blood, right? Is that what we're saying here? Because Edward did really pull a lot of weight.
Can't wait to see. Let's go ahead and throw it over to our solo analyst to break it down.
Thank you so much, casters. I'm joined here at the analyst stand with
Knockout,
Coach Paolo Expert, the championship winning coach of RRQ Kaito. Coach, kamusta?
Okay naman, ayun, pahinga kami ngayon at may ESL pa kami, so we're still practicing.
Still practicing. Championship mindset, still practicing even after the regular season or the season of MBL Philippines is done. Now, nakita natin ang thrilling ng first game between Blacklist International and Mnne Evos. I want to ask you, starting with Blacklist International, what's that one thing that you saw from their overall gameplay that you want to praise?
Para sa akin, yung mga pick-ups ni Edward, yung mga key pick-ups sa Moscow, at saka sa pag-maneuver ng Blacklist around the map, ginagamit nila yung mobility nila with the Benedetta and the Claude para makapag-macro sa mapa.
And that's why Edward is the MVP of our game. And I have to agree with Coach Paolo, Expert. Champions Arena, masaya ba kayo sa performance ni Edward? That's unanimous. Now I have a question here. Madalas na natin nakikita yung para sa mga pro players, EXP laners especially, prioritization ng C Halberd. Care to explain?
I think dahil may Minotaur yung kalaban, may heal, so kailangan talaga nila yun in terms of the team fight para yung Yuzhong Ren kasi yung passive noon nag-heal, di ba? So yung si Halberd nakakatulong talaga yun para ma-decrease yung heal ng mga kalaban nila.
Yeah. Goods na goods. Kahit attack speed item siya, di ba? Maganda pa rin naman if you're gonna just take away the healing. And early on here, I want to talk about now Mnne Evos. Meron ka bang isang bagay sa mga ginawa nila maybe in the early game that you want to point out?
Para sa akin, for Mnne, the advice I would give them is probably sa late game, as a Lord Dance. Si Moskov kasi, kayang-kaya niyang i-1v1 kahit sino sa side lane. So if they utilize the Lord Dance a lot better, they were engaging the team fight too early kasi dapat hinihintay nilang mag-flow muna yung opposite lane minion bago sila makapag-engage ng fully as a team.
Yeah. Flow the minion waves before the Lords. At dyan natin nakita actually yung unfortunate na knock-up doon kay Domeng from the Lord itself. Now for this last Lord take, para sa'yo ba, was it a good call from the side of Mnne Evos na to push it and try to contest it?
I think they pressed the button too early for me. Dapat hinintay pa nilang mag-push yung minion wave sa opposite lane nga, katulad ng sinabi ko, before engaging fully with the Yuzhong Dragon at saka yung Moscow ultimate nila para mag-teleport.
And of course, it's just unfortunate as well for Mnne Evos that they're up against Agent Zero who parang laser focus siya looking for the Moskov. And I want to go back to that Moskov pickup. Kasi sigurado ako, ang daming tao na nagtatanong, bakit first 2 picks sa red side, kinuha kagad yung Moskov?
Yung Moskov kasi ngayon, super strong late game. At saka yung damage niya, kaya niya mag-split push siya sa marksman, kaya niyang tumulong kahit nag-split siya sa teamfight dahil nga pag nakapana siya, magte-teleport siya agad sa teamfight. Kaya super priority ng Moskov ngayon sa mga rank games at saka sa tournament.
Okay, so I guess you could also say na Mnne Evos prioritizing the Moskov. They already knew that sigurado sa Lord Dances baka doon sila mahirapan. Having someone like the Moskov, di ba, with that global presence, kung tumama yung ano niya, yung ultimate niya, he'll be able to respond really quickly. Let's take a look at the stats and the itemization. One thing that I noted here is, parang more often, parang ang dami ng mid laners din na nagpa-prioritize ng Necklace of the Rans even as the first item. That's usually a point of contention as well for the community. Pero para sa'yo as a coach, what do you think of the Necklace of the Rans first item for mid laners?
Other than the obvious anti-heal nga, nagbibigay na rin ng cooldown kasi yun. So, super effective talaga siya early game. So, kaya inaagapan na nila yung mga healer type na heroes like Yuzhong and Minotaur, which Mnne Evos had. So.
Now, there's something I noted down here between these two teams na ever since the regular season, it feels like I'm watching a mirror in terms of their rotations maybe or their prioritizations. Did you feel the same way seeing that in game number 1 or did you see two completely different teams?
Para sa akin, nanibago ako sa Blacklist eh. Parang ibang Blacklist to ngayon eh. Parang tama nga yung sinasabi ng mga tao na nagsusuper Saiyan mode talaga yung Blacklist pagdating ng playoffs eh.
Super Saiyan Blacklist. Yung Blacklist playoffs mode. Sigurado nakita natin. And I think one of the best ways to really show how that started was in the beginning, within the first 2 minutes, yung 3-man knock-up ni Haji, ginamit yung flicker as that Edith. Now, as we go through the stats here, of course, you see Edward's high GPM. We have to point out, again, he is the MVP. Full damage Benedetta. And there's some people saying that sometimes you can still go to, with sort of a hybrid Benedetta. Is full damage Benedetta really the way to go?
Yeah, for me, I think so. Kasi most likely, mga 1v1 duels yung kukunin niya eh. So, kailangan talaga ng full damage siya para manalo ng mga 1v1 duels sa side lane.
Great itemization, great rotations, and of course, the focus on looking for that Moskov to take them down. And Blacklist International will take game number 1. For anything else, join the MLBBX KOF 97 Bingo Draw event. Take a shot at winning 3 brand new KOF collab skins and unlock their exclusive ID tags. Enjoy a sweet 50% discount on the first 10x draw and the daily first 1x draw. Don't miss out on this awesome opportunity. Kaba, Coach, nag-collect ka pa ba ng mga skins pagpasok ng mga diamante?
Hindi na masyado yan. Tagal ko na naglalaro eh.
So focus talaga sa coaching and analysis. Understandable, nag-champion din naman sa MDL Philippines Season 3 si Coach Paolo Expert eh. And of course, the Exorcist skin for Hayabusa and Granger are now available alongside exclusive items. More details on that. But of course, Coach Paolo Expert will be joining us here in the analyst stand. For now, let's go back to our hosts, Mara and Hans.
Thank you, Renmar. I wanna feel everyone's energy in here. How's everybody doing? Everyone's happy. Sounds like everyone's happy that Blacklist International won that in 18 minutes.
I mean, it's been a long while since we've had MPL Philippines, and I am sure with the level of competition na nakita natin dito, especially with what Blacklist International showcased us, lalo na yung mga 1v1 plays ni Edward kanina, I'm sure that everybody else was hyped about that.
Siyempre, they're performing with the best they can. Andito nga si Mom Shu and si Pop Shu. Oh, di ba? Oh, ayan. Nag-cheer na ang ating mga agents. Pero alam mo, Hans, for the first time in MPL, we're gonna have our first official Bahasa Indonesia stream.
You know what, Mara? Let's check on how they're doing. Mirko, Kabe, where are you guys at?
Untuk teleponan dengan MPL
Hi,
team.
Marco. Hi, Kabe.
Hello.
How you guys
Yo, what's up?
doing? Hey. How you doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great, Mara. We're doing great. Me and KB here, we've been experiencing the crazy games. Well, actually, just that one game, but
Oh, they're...
Oh.
Alam mo, ang lakas talaga ng
Real.
appeal ni Mirko. Sa sobrang lakas.
Gano'ng kalakas?
Sobrang lakas na walan tayo ng kuryente doon. Now, balikan natin. Hey, welcome back!
Are they back? Are they back?
Marco, I was just saying your appeal is so strong that we could not take it. And it went on a blackout mode.
Yeah. I mean, this time, I feel like asking you, Mirko and KB, I want to know what you guys think about that very first game of the MPL Philippines playoffs. Right. They're thinking about it. Thinking about it deep. I think they're talking.
I think they're saying that was really great.
Yeah.
We thought that was awesome. Yeah. That's what
And then
Marco's
KB
saying.
was like, oh, okay, this is amazing. Everybody
Yeah.
else was like, whoa. And then everybody else was like, yeah.
Of course, in 18 minutes. They finished it in 18 minutes. My name is Mirko. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't wait for this to go to a game 5. Yeah, okay, that's what they said.
Okay, we're gonna wait until we could hear what they're saying. What about for you? Were there any surprises for you during that time?
I mean, honestly, I was very surprised with the way nila, the execution of the game. Kasi technically, these two teams are somewhat waiting for the right time to strike. Pero in this matchup, hindi ganun yung nangyari. Una pa lang, bugbuga na kagad. Una pa lang, may 1v1 play snap. There wasn't even a Lord fight just yet. There were many fights that were away from objectives. And I feel like for the next preceding games, marami pa tayo makikita ganun.
Alam mo, best of 5 to. Anything can happen. But you know, how about, let's go straight to game 2. And we're
Okay.
gonna go back to our casters. Casters, pasok.
Thank you so much, Hans, Mara, and I wish we got to hear a little more from our dear friends out there in Indonesia, of course, but maybe we'll get a chance to talk to them, of course, or hear from them after this one or when they get things situated there.
Or when they fly here.
Oh, when they
Just kidding,
fly
just
here?
kidding.
Yeah, that's just kidding, by the way. So, but of course, before we move on, we have to go ahead and give a big shout out to our official sponsor. It's Smart. Be part of the digital transformation of the world of connectivity.
And say hello to convenience, flexibility, and local connectivity with the Smart Prepaid eSIM. Now available for digital delivery through the Smart online store for only 99 pesos.
Well, with that being said, gentlemen, game 1 was intense, and when we're talking about the two forms or the two shades of Ube, that's not what I was expecting, but again, they're playing on some amazing phones out there, and we have to give them a shout out as well. It's Infinix, the GT Series. Outplay the rest, brought to you by Infinix, the official sponsor of MPL Season 13.
Be unstoppable and outplay the rest with Infinix GT Series. I think there's one right here. Right?
There's one right here.
This one, right.
That's it. That's right there. I thought there was another move. I was waiting for
No,
it.
it's the same move, just done
The other way.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a little, the temperature in this Champions Arena is up there.
No, it's heating up. All right.
really heating up.
Unlike the GT series, just stays cool all throughout. I mean, I'm putting myself in like Edward's position, right? Suffered first blood, had to pull himself out in the early to mid as if nothing happened, and then started going 1v1, killing gold laners.
That's a champion's fortitude, man.
That's
the
right.
champion mentality.
The legend Zero.
That's-
he proved why he's legendary.
That's the MVP.
That is the MVP
Right?
for game number 1.
So that's him on his Benedetta, who has been slowly climbing up the ranks. It's not like that's his only tool. He also has a Paquito. Edward can play so many heroes right now. And the fact is, you also have to think of how that interacts with Kirk.
That's true. Well, let's see what you guys have to think about, because the MPL Philippines live stream guessing game It's now available. Every match starts with a guessing game on the TikTok platform.
And you know what? You just come on and watch MPL matches on TikTok and join the guessing and support your team with game points.
All right, let me talk to you. Here's how you do exactly just that. Go
Tell
to
'em.
TikTok, click the app, go to MPL Philippines TikTok channel. It's at MPL_official.
Okay.
Click the official live stream.
We're clicking.
And then you click the ongoing guessing game to support your team and win game points.
I'm guessing.
All right, I'm not. We were not allowed to join
Okay.
for many different reasons, but
Yeah.
you can. So let us know. Are you for Black? Are you an agent? Or are you for Minana Evos? Are you a member of the Hokbo?
You know what I'm gonna guess though?
What are you gonna
Kirk's
guess?
Not gonna Kirk's not gonna hold this R-Lot all game long, all series long.
Yeah, neither team actually wants to let the R-Lot through. Blacklist, when they get their hands on the R-Lot, they actually tend to put it on Haji. They put
Can
it
be
on,
Edward.
but more on Haji.
More on Haji.
Like 4 out of 5 times, it's on Haji. Which now comes around to how maybe Minana Evos will now have the pick for sides. And luckily enough, we now have the verdict, and they are going to go
It
on
is.
blue. Okay, so with blue side Gambit, they can do many different things. Just off the top of my head, they can play for Matilda first pick. They can force out a Harith first pick.
Yeah.
They can even try to go for a choke on mid. Because something tells me, all right, I don't know if you agree with me, something tells me the Aurora wasn't something they were happy with.
It does feel like they were forced into it. Like
Yeah.
Lancey's picks, I was thinking, oh, hey, Lancey, he's going to pick Lilia. Oh, no, it's banned out. Novaria, no, it's banned out.
Banned out.
So
Right.
I feel like Blacklist had a really good time studying the mid pick. And
Yeah.
you know what? They said, we can't ban out the roam completely. Let's look at other people.
It's been the
Yeah.
story of this current metagame, of this current season. Mid lane has always been so tight.
Well, man, I love this meta. That's what I'll say.
Oh, boy.
I'm still hoping for Gord through the playoffs, but let's see if it happens. Might not be one of these teams. But hey, we're going to jump into the draft here for game number 2. And with the side switch up, we'll see exactly how Minana Evos wants to approach being that first pick, having that capability to switch things up and maybe even secure something for that building of a legend, that Spider Miles roster of heroes that he has here. So once again, you can already see the bands coming out. Look at their win rates for their respective sides.
Yeah.
And you'll see this, right? Still, though, Blacklist International will go ahead and ban out that Angela, the Harith. They don't want to give that up. We've mentioned this before. Our lot's not going to be played
Yep.
so far. And Loyi banned out as well. Let's see what these last 2 bans are.
Okay, something tells me now they're hedging on the gambit of the Fredrin or the Matilda. From there, they can also go first pick for Remus, and it wouldn't even hurt.
I'm the priestess
All right,
of primal lightning,
both are still up.
the hunter of
Fredrin
all
and
the evil
Matilda.
gods.
What's Blacklist gonna let
Always on the
through?
way.
What
Okay,
if?
take it. Kzen,
Kzen, take
take
it.
Fredrin Johnson. Take it. I mean, Fredrin.
I was like, wait, what?
What?
Johnson?
It's a
Is that
generic-
because you saw? Is that because you saw him
There's a
out
cosplayer
there?
There's a
outside.
Johnson cosplayer
Yeah.
around.
All right, they go the
That's not bad.
Fredrin. Baksha though, this is identity.
Yep,
For
this is
Blacklist.
Sensui's second
Oh,
best
so good,
jungle
though.
hero. And the Faramis, of course, they deny it from Lancey. Something tells me they got to put a hero on Lancey right now.
Do it.
Get that Nova, get that Vex, get that Val.
Yeah. Obviously, Valentina looks like it's a prime candidate here.
Get the Val.
At risk of also getting banned out in the next phase. So you don't want to leave that out in the open.
You got to get that Val.
Yeah.
There it is.
And maybe a gold laner? Pick up a Nathan?
I am vengeance incarnate.
Hold up.
Oh.
No.
Never mind then. I guess Moskov is a better pick now.
They're going to die on that
Stars
Moscow
brought us
hill, aren't
here.
they?
Oh, Nova!
Okay, hey, at least I get the Novaria
Yep. Again,
for Lancey here.
better than forcing a weird hero onto Lancey
I like it.
last phase.
I like it.
When
Because the
body
impact
suffers,
here is throughout the
spirit
game. And we
blooms.
know scaling-wise, Novaria is a monster. Vision is great. Answer, though, again, this time around, Benedetta picked up for Edward. And the Faramis being part of this whole thing, again, working through that Netherrealm this time around.
And now there is going to be an option to ban out the Val, but yes, sometimes you kind of just don't need to deal with it immediately. A lot of teams, to be honest, have evolved to be able to deal with the Faramis compositions without having to pick up Valentina. So, you know what, they can be kind of creative here. Lilia is actually pretty good against Valentina lineups as well on the mid, but again, Lancey's already on the Novaria, so that could be tricky here
Yeah.
for Minana.
There's the Hellcurt again, currently at 100%. contest rate in the playoffs.
I love that because, you know, Mnne has done their homework. Bonchan has been known in the past to really bring out some weird stuff on the playoffs. And Mnne just not taking a risk.
I think that's, again, you know, it's safe. It's like a safe ban to take it out because the impact right now of the Hellcurt. So the last one, though, for Blacklist International is once again a Spider Miles pick here. They take out the Minotaur this time around. So that's 3 for Spider Miles. Yep.
That's rough, Dad. Check it out. What's left for Spider Miles, right? Just Rafaela.
Rafaela, I was going to say.
Rafaela and the Florin.
All right, Florin. We haven't. I missed it. Sometimes you can go under your radar, but Florin's still really good, right?
Who said there are no
actually
shortcuts
don't
in
mind
life?
Florin.
I literally invented one.
Because they have a solid Fredrin, and then they can get a good chunky XP laner and call it a day. I think Mnne Evos are okay. They're comfortable being in blue this time.
Okay, so with this now rounded up here for the bans, we'll see exactly Blacklist International, where do they want to pick up? Do they go ahead and pick up their gold lane in this position, or do they pick up their roam, right? Because now that's the thing. Is Fairness still flexible enough to possibly be put in the roam? I don't think so.
Don't do it.
But you know, so what do they go with here?
This is a gold laner.
Feel like it's a gold lane pick.
Is it just like Claude again for that matchup?
That's like the safe pick. I mean, obviously, it was not a straight up win earlier, but it works.
Introducing my buddy.
Average assist.
There it is.
Yeah, so they go with the Claude once again. Spider Miles, though, averages 7 assists per 10 team kills this season, the highest among all players with a minimum of 20 games played.
Damn.
So he is the assist king.
He is.
He's the wingman.
Yes.
If there's an expert wingman, there's a master wingman. That's him.
Well, we'll see exactly what Spider Miles wants to bring to the table this time around. That's a Terizla. I can hear that from across the universe.
Hold up.
Terizla. Wait, Valentina. So
a Roam Novaria?
A Roam Novaria. So my guy is not healing today.
If anything, this is a Mnne Evos that is just so hell-bent on dealing damage. This is what it says. This is the message they're sending.
Yeah.
That do be spicy. I love it. I actually love it because everyone just immediately defaults to, oh, Lancey's Novaria automatically, right?
Yeah.
People don't think about Spider Miles being able to go on that hero.
I'm not Vengeance Incarnate. I am actually interested because you check out the first few weeks of the regular season, Mnne Evos was the dive team. And now come the playoffs, they come full circle. They're going full dive again. And the answer from Blacklist is a great way to actually quell that kind of aggression. There's the grok.
All right.
Okay, so
I like it.
Yeah. When you look at Black, I do want to see the lineup breakdown here, the lineup ratings, of course. But, you know, with this, the fact that you're going to have Spider Miles on this Novaria, I'm wondering, like, that vision that is going to be here for the team, of course, with the Echo dropping down and everything else. That'll help them in a way, obviously, having a Mozkov on their side. But it's like, still, when you're talking about what they have to deal with across from them, Netherrealm, of course. Again, Edward with hands on that Benedetta. This is, I don't know. I guess my big thing is, like, how do you execute this with the vision that you're going to have for Mnne Evos?
Huh. Vision's going to be tricky. And again, Vision's always something that has been taken care of by our teams. One specific reason why the Hellcurt has been constantly banned out, even though most likely people will pick it up on their own.
Yeah, again, a lot of people might say, oh, they have the Novaria, Vision is good. No, that's the only Vision you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And there's a walking Vision over here in the hands of Haji, of course. So let's jump into game 2 here. Again, it's Mnne Evos and Blacklist International. Currently 1 point in this best of 5 for Blacklist. Both junglers getting us situated here and set up. And we'll take a look at the emblems. Wow, Haji gonna go ahead and just cause some havoc. Use that flicker as well.
Ooh.
I guess if you're gonna use a flicker, that's a great time to do it. You don't have no immediate use for it up until the maybe the trill take.
Yep, can confirm that he is not rocking any cooldown reduction on it. Don't pull yourself together.
Yep.
Something to note, this is still Tank Fredrin with the thrill. So even when it's Mnne Evos' turn, if it's Kaizen's turn, this seems to be the old reliable loadout for one Fred.
Yeah, it seems to be V-Way. Oh my god, Kaizen made a boo-boo there. 3 HP left on the purple. Oh my god, that slowed him down a lot.
Yep.
reset a little bit, and
Okay.
you know, it's not that big of a deal.
That's 3 seconds.
That's a few seconds.
Yeah. That adds up.
It does add up.
It does, yeah. It does.
Yeah, and you know, with that too, you also have to keep in mind that Mnne Evos did rock the double. They have the double Purify available for them to kind of deal with what's being thrown at them from Blacklist International. So I feel like also at the same time, does this change the dynamic of the Mozgov? Like previous game, we saw him with the Inspire, of course, right? That scales really well with him, but this time it's a little more defensive, and I'm wondering if that was the check from the previous game where it's like, all right, Domeng, now you have to be even a little more careful with this Mozgov once again.
I'll tell you now, I think what happened in Game 1 did affect that decision, but it's not all just because of what happened in Game 1. I think if it was up to Mnne Evos and they saw what Blacklist was picking, right now especially, I think they would still pick an Inspire half the time. Because really, what is he afraid of? It's the Haji Grok, that's it.
It's just too much value, right now. Speaking of value, that's a lot of value damage being put in by Mnne already onto Haji. Kaizen going to be securing that turtle because of that, and Haji with a wild charge trying to slow down the red tree, not going to work this time.
Okay, so with that exchange, turtle going to be secured from Mnne Evos. That was the way that they boxed that off in their favor with what they had available to them was great. Even with Kirk utilizing that penalty zone early on to just keep them there was great timing.
Yep, Blacklist International's current lineup, where they are, really has no way of just quickly and suddenly confirming turtle takes, right? Look at the burst that they have. They're waiting for Yue to get items, and everything else is pure DPS. So from there on, you know that Mnne Evos actually have better goes at early game engages. So this is their window now.
Yeah. Oh, bottom side.
Oh.
That's a good damage coming in from Ohebin. He is on the chase here.
Oh, Domeng!
Dive in from Haji once more. We're seeing the shot calling of Blacklist coming in full fruition this time around.
You remember what you asked earlier, Leo? What are you afraid of? I think maybe that's the answer.
Exactly, right? Literally. It's the one thing that you're afraid of.
Haji.
And it came for you.
Oh,
flickering
man.
in, and how perfect the timing. See, it just came off of cooldown but maybe 15, 20 seconds prior.
Yeah, that's value.
He just goes in.
Talk about efficiency with the battle spell from Haji, of course, right? So with that, that's going to also get them a little bit extra gold to work around with here. Haji still holding it down. They're providing that vision for them to play around. Topside, Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk doing some good damage, and he has no way to fight back. Even his bond's not quite there yet. So right now, he's going to have to force himself to pull back. And maybe a fight happening on the mid. You got Domeng possibly flying in with a spear of Vengeance right now. Oh my goodness, Lazzy is in a bit of a pickle here. Kill once more, going to the Blacklist. Go later.
All right, so Domeng through the SOD, hit it on the dot, but thought about where he is right now and what the output would be, and said, you know what, I just need to farm. I'm just going to try to get some plates in. And so far, Blacklist understand the fact that they have been unable in a defensive mindset.
And that defensive mindset is what they have to play around here. Now Sensui rolling in, want to go ahead and start this dance up by Kaizen for the second turtle of the game. Look at the positioning once again. This is what I was talking about. This time around to Domeng. Oh, hold on. It's going to go ahead and get that reset. Haji loves to do it with that Grok.
100%.
So they go ahead and back off for now, buying themselves a little more time. You can see this too. They still want to battle this out. They still want to force the fight here. They can clear that mid up. Sensui jumping in.
Yeah, they don't want to go for turtle. They want straight into the fight. Kirk's going to go down for sure here. And now, follow-up is going to be stronger with a 4v5. Haji can come back here. Fire Miles and Case is not quite done with him just yet.
Good
Fire Miles
push.
with a miss there.
Yeah.
All right. So I love it. This is a fearless Blacklist International. We're seeing Sensui happy to go up front. Haji as well with the wild charges. Mnne is just not safe.
And with that, they're going to go ahead and give up this turtle. They're happy with exchanging these, these minor plays, of course, around for the turtles for now. But with that, it's still basically even for the most part. Now, Mnne Evos had a good push from Domeng up top. You even saw him earlier use that Spear of Destruction, but he didn't commit to it.
Twice now.
Twice now, exactly.
He has thrown out an ult to just check and see if he was going to come in. Timed out both times. So now the question is, are these turtles that Blacklist conceding, are they adding up to Mnne Evos' plan to get Domeng online? Because currently, Homie only really has a Corrosion Scythe. He's on his way to a DHS. and I'm guessing what, it comes in about a minute from now?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that enough time? Is that when they say go?
We'll have to find out. They're trying to really push their luck here on the bottom side once more. A fearless wild charge straight into Doming's face. He's able to survive with, of course, the Netherrealm. Kaizen misses out with the Appraiser's Wrath. Edward goes down, though. Good punch back for Mnne. But I think that is going to be mission to compliment to be in for the Blacklist, though. Since Sui trapped in the corner here with a rock in a hard place.
Man, so even with the Purified Doming, if the pressure is there, it's so hard to escape. And even with these shots coming down, Lancey.
I love these Astral Recalls making their hits.
He's feeling pretty good, considering the fact that they're down 1 in the series.
I mean, they're down but not out.
They're not out.
Right? And I think it's that kind of bravado, that kind of mojo that gets you back into a winning position. Again, Mnne was in a defensive mindset, and it's clear that if it wasn't for that Doming death second time now, then now it is for sure. He is almost there?
Almost there.
Almost there, but look, he started to build defense, man. He just paused the DHS and said, you know what? I need armor.
Hold up.
Let me get the jerk in.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, this is a different approach to the Moskov.
Yeah.
You know, and because if you think about it, let's say he Spears of Destruction, it pops in there. You have to be ready to either get pulled by the Shadow Stampede, get wild charged into, and that's why you have a Purify, of course, right? But then still, playing around the positioning game is so difficult here for Doming.
And while that's happening, core items locked in. Golden Staff already for Oheb.
Is he on the Trinity?
It's really fast already.
Is he on the Trinity?
I think it's just a duo
All right.
now.
But still, that's pretty bad. Because,
That's pretty good.
Whoa, 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 watch out, watch out.
Look at that. Oheb's in trouble here. Backup coming in from Haji. Absorb all of the spears coming in from Doming. What a buddy right now. But Haji, I think he will have to pay for it with his life.
Man.
Doming Nation getting a kill.
All right.
They're feeling it.
The recall button getting too loud.
Recall button.
Okay. So that's the thing. We asked if he gets the ult in, when does he flick? When does he come in? Right? When does he click the button on the Spear Destruction? I think they only did that because they know that they were ahead. They said, "Oh, home TKO." But from there, I'd reckon once he gets his 4th item, that's when the Purify is starting to be used aggressively.
Yes.
That's what we're waiting for.
And that's probably why he had to go ahead and pick up some of this defense now for the fight for the purple.
Yep, it's a fight happening right now on the purple side buff here, Blacklist. Now it's Mnne looking like they are ready to take these fights even with the Netherrealm. Push up on the mid seems to be the actual call here, though. As UA are going to help you just clear that wave. Here comes another one.
Yeah, Kaizen is hereby guilty of Grand Theft Purple, so that's good. Mnne Evos rubber band their way into a 2K gold lead about.
Yeah, holding on to that Netherrealm as well for Lancey. That's something they can play around with. And of course, as the game gets further on here, even for Spider Miles, hey, he's only got, of course, the Enchanted Talisman he's building into his next item. But those shots will start to do quite a bit of damage as we get further into the game. And now Doming still putting the pressure here on this tier 2 in the bottom. While Blacklist tries to hold on to that tier 1 mid lane because it's crucial that they keep it together for this Lord Dance. Let's take a quick look how the items are falling into place.
Okay, so there's the Trinity onto Oheb, Filipino sniper, taking his time here. He knows that his... hold up. Okay, we're fine.
Happy here.
We're fine. We're fine.
Go.
Checking out Lancey, also on his way to his 3rd core item. I'm guessing that's, what? Some level of a Queen's Wings or a DG.
Yep.
Looks like a DG. Well, Miles... Check this out. Look at what Miles did, man. He's a roamer, yeah? His first item, Enchanted Talisman.
Yeah.
So they just want to collapse on the black.
And cooldown boots, of course, magic boots. Make sure to get that cooldown reduction in. Everyone spotted out here, though. It is a great engage coming in from Mnne. Haji trying to go for the wild charge to the back. Oheb as well with the blazing weapon. It's just not quite enough here. Lancey with the kill. Haji going down. Yua getting chased down with all these spears. Gonna get chased down from downtown. Hits the Spider Miles after recall. And now Mnne really feeling it.
Oh my goodness, Mnne Evo's playing that so well. And even from the shot from Spider Miles. And with that, they're going to grab themselves this Lord here. Blacklist International not able to do anything but watch.
an amazing Lord dance. And you can't even say it was a dance because they immediately went for the turn and found the right targets, taking down Sensui first, making sure that Oheb regrets his decision of coming in with a blazing duet, half-cocked. Again, it's a Trinity. I don't blame KL1. I don't blame him. That should have really taken down Mnne. And mind you, this is Mnne EVOS without a Netherrealm.
That's interesting.
They did. The Netherrealm was not online when that came in. So I'm really feeling good for this time around. I think this aggressive take.
Oh my God.
Not if they miss hits like that. Kirk is in trouble. Haji gonna go down. Nice save coming in from Yue. Able to keep Haji alive just for the meantime.
Whoa!
He won't do it.
A spear of destruction going into the base. Probably won't get pulled up here. But here comes the minions. Do see some good bursts coming in. Edward with electrified low in. Dodged out by Lancey. Lancey still goes down though. Valentina is out and down for the count.
He was waiting for the Purify, man.
He was waiting.
3 seconds off. He was waiting for the Purify. And again, I don't blame him. They're ahead for the first time in this whole series. And now they're in the base.
They are in the base right now. And that is a massive, massive dive in here. Coming in from Kirk, he goes down. But I think that is mission accomplished for the at least for now. Edward trying to get something done, trying to clear those minion waves. It is going to be at least a successful defense, but that was a massive amount of damage done to Blcklist.
There's a saying that goes, hard times breed better men. And Domeng survived those hard times.
He had hard times.
For the first, 7 or 8 minutes, he was not playing the game. And now he's able to use the Purify aggressively. Look, he didn't even use it in that siege.
He didn't need to. And, you know, he also just picked up the Wind of Nature. So he's got that defense at least available to him. So you can even expect him to, if we're talking about aggression on that Purify, if he actually finds his moment to go in, pop that Wind of Nature, that could be crucial in a lot of the damage provided. Again, they're almost 6K ahead here. And you can see how many turrets they got off that last one. Edward, though.
This time around, it does feel like it's Blacklist trying to be aggressive, but it's just not working out. They're unable to burn through the HP, even with the Netherrealm. And now it's 2v4, Haji going down. Sensui just does not have the tools to deal with it. Boys, we're going to game number 3 here, 1-1 on the scoreboard.
Mnne EVOS swings back, claws back, evens out the series 1-1.
And with that, we got a ball game.
We got a ball game.
And it had to come off of an unorthodox lineup. A lineup with 2 mages in the mid, a Rome Novaria, a strat we've seen before, but we haven't seen come back in the current metagame. It's been a while, and Mnne EVOS are able to capitalize, shock Blacklist International into submission, and force them into a 3rd game in this best of 5. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and both teams have shots fired. Amazing.
Yeah, shots fired. It's basically, our best of 5 has now turned into a best of 3 ahead of us, you know, and man, it's very interesting when you look at it because the minor adjustments made and even the flex that happened in the draft when, again, all of us were like, oh, it's Lancey's Novaria.
Yeah.
And then it was flexed in, and even the minor adjustments that was made from this Moskov, from Domeng, to be a little more defensive. I think he still, even at the end, he only had the leather jerkin, right? Like, he never even did anything with it.
Did it last that long?
Casual jerkin.
Really?
He just had it. He had the Wind of Nature, of course, but really the pushing that he did early on when we talked about, hey, he's Spear of Destruction, but he didn't commit to any of those early ones, but he put pressure on the side lanes.
And I think there's also a psychological effect to Blacklist knowing that he can click it. He can just jump in and change the tides of battle, but he didn't.
I think I completely agree with the shock value, not just in the draft, but also in the way that they play. The Terizla penalty zones were actually super massive here. It's very unlikely that you'll notice, but he starts it off all the time. He dies a lot, but he does get the job done, and Doming's able to do so much because of that.
Again, that's the job of the body of Smith, right? That's how you got to play that Terizla. Let's go ahead and have it broken down by our solo analyst, Redmar.
Thank you, casters. Mnne EVOS takes game number 2, 1-1. Coach Paolo Expert and I, we were talking here. Novaria Valentina, risky yun ngayon sa meta natin, pero gumana para sa Mnne.
Yeah, last on pick siya. Actually, hindi ko rin siya in-expect na pipiliin. Kala ko yung Novaria post 4 na eh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what everyone was thinking at the same time na parang, talaga Valentina nung lumabas siya sa second phase. But looking at the picks, paired up with a Fredrin and of course a Terizla, were those the right picks to make a Novaria Valentina work?
Yeah, yung Fredrin Trisla kasi, pag nag-Novaria Valentina sila, kailangan nila ng frontline. Those two heroes gave Mnne those two tanky heroes sa frontline.
Yeah, got that front line, and of course, Spider-Man still looking cold. Thwip. Taking game number 2's MVP, the Novaria pickup. And I'm starting to sense a pattern with Mnne Evos. We're up against a team like Blacklist International na alam natin magaling with the rotations, around the turtle and Lord Dance is really great. Mnne Evos, I don't know if you could agree with me here, is that they sort of really want to play for bigger control, map-wide control, something like that. What do you think?
Parang nahalata ko sa kanila, they're more into team fights right now eh. Parang poke muna, tapos team fight after na mapaproc nila yung Faramis ulti, tapos doon pa lang sila mag-i-engage pag na-force na nila yung Faramis ulti ng kalaban.
And of course, we all know when it comes to poking down the enemy compositions, it's a Novaria that's really good at that job. 6-0 and 7 with a KDA, a 93% kill participation for the MVP of the game. Alam naman natin in the early game, Mnne Evos got the 3 turtles. Was there something that you remember from their early game rotations na tumatak sa memory mo?
Actually, para sa akin, medyo ahead nga yung Blacklist nung una eh. Pero nung early game, since super teamfight heavy nga yung Mnne Evos, and nakukuha na ng Valentina yung Faramis ulti, doon sila lumalamang. Doon sila nakabawi, pinopok ng Novaria, yung Faramis, and then, yun nga, forcing the ulti.
And that makes sense because like with Mnne Evos, beautiful entry from Kirk, by the way. I'm glad that na-highlight yung play na to, and this would eventually lead to the win for Mnne Evos. And to, again, hammer on the point na pag ganito yung lineup nyo with the Novaria Valentina, dapat sapat yung front line, at least 2. Kasi di ba nakita na tayo ng mga lineups dati na jungler lang yung front, yung EXP pang pick-off, which is somewhat a little bit risky, but Mnne Evos made it work here. Next question is, are you surprised that it went this fast para sa game number 2?
Yeah, para sa akin, I was quite surprised na ganito kabilis yung game. Actually, I thought it was gonna go down more on the later stages of the game.
Now, as we look at the stats, you can see here for Mnne Evos, the purple buff control was really important. At one point, nakita na nga natin na binibigay na ng Mnne Evos yung purple buff onto that Novaria, and that would just make it a little bit harder for Blacklist to rotate. So, to sum it up in terms of your take here, is it really just with how well Mnne Evos played the team fights? So sobrang galing lang ba talaga nila na sa mga team fights around the objectives, doon sila lumamang dito?
It was more like a hit-and-run strategy na poke Novaria, tapos yung parang inabuso nila yung Moscow rin eh. Napakataas na kasi ng DPS ng Moscow pag sabayan yung Faramis at saka Valentina ulti. So, yeah, that's why they got the upper hand.
Yeah, and I'm glad na na-mention mo yung mga ultimates dito. And I think that's a new description I like. Hit and run Mnne Evos. That kind of play style up against Blacklist International. And nakita naman natin, they go to one area, biglang ikot na ulit. If they can't get a pick here, they're gonna go somewhere else. And then at the same time, personally, I don't know if you agree with me here, I like how Mnne Evos played around their ultimates. Parang ang ganda ng pag-layer ng mga skills nila.
Oh yeah, the skill management, they did it really efficiently that game actually.
Very efficient skill management, and the ultis from Mnne Evos, 762 GPM for doming, around the average. But as Coach Paolo Expert mentioned in the first series, late game, pag binigyan mo talaga yung Moskov ng chance na makapag-farm, he's gonna deal the damage, 67.5 thousand. Pero surprisingly enough, Lancy as well, malapit lang din in terms of damage. What did you like about Lancy's game in this game number 2?
Hindi siya takot mag-poke kahit may grok sa harap niya. Kasi alam niyang medyo short range yung katapat niya eh. So, bali, nag-i-in and out lang siya all the time. Alam niyang kaya niyang bulihin yung grok sa harapan. At saka may alalay rin siya na Novaria for vision. So, kaya nagagawa niya yung trabaho niya na maayos.
I like that you pointed that out. Matapang si Lancy. I mean, your Valentina up against a grok, tinitipihan mo yung grok, pinopoke mo, and somehow you'll be able to run away with it. And now, I want to go like outside of the game a little bit. If you were the coach of Mnne Evos and you saw your mid laner doing that, pero nakita mo naman, nagbigay ng confidence sa team mo. Ano sasabihin mo kay Lancey as your...
Moscow looked really good in the hands of Doming.
Yeah, it's always a bomb waiting to... Hold up. Wait, instead of banning out the Frederick, they're saying, you know what? What do you pick first? We're going to get the Harith. Your play.
Were we talking about the Harith on OHEP earlier? It's like, you know what? There's a low chance that he picked it up. No.
He's not very Harith reliant, actually.
Yeah.
Look at his gold lane heroes. You're looking at the likes of the Nathan. You're looking at the likes of a Carry and a Claude. And now suddenly, you know what? Maybe in the break, he started picking up the Harith reps.
Yeah.
And now you see the response here from Mnne Evos, looking to recreate their Game 2 draft here with the Fredrin and the Novaria. And the Moskov is not yet banned out, so they might pick that up third pick here.
Okay. First, oh, there it is.
Like
With the
God.
Harith, they're going to pair up here.
Shadows loom.
The,
but my
whoa,
faith will
okay.
always
This early?
We're going to see that this early. The Carmilla pick.
Yo, I love this. I love this, to be honest. Obviously, it hasn't won yet, but you know what? We're looking for reps here. And obviously, it's been a very long break.
Yep.
Let's see what they came up with during that time.
And again, we don't know what this is going to be. A jungle
Yeah.
Carmilla, which was previously shown in the regular season to very little success.
Yep.
And then it could also be a roam Carmilla, which has been making the round in the grapevine.
Hey, you know what's funny is I recently played the Roam Carmilla, and it's interesting the way that it works. And when you look at this lineup already, the first two picks, it could be devastating if they're able to actually utilize the Carmilla for what it's worth. Now, across from them, we're already seeing the bans come out, of course, by both teams. We're down to the last one for the second phase. And the fact, too, that Mnne Evos gets Domeng the Moskov again,
Yep.
and you have the Novari here again, it could just already be a great recipe to success for this Game 3. Now, real quick, too, Lancey, he has 6.18 damage dealt per gold, the highest among all players in the league. And I remember it was Redmar during the regular season that talked about Lancey's impact
Who said there
and
are
how
no
much he's
shortcuts
had
in life?
as the mid
I
laner
literally
throughout the regular
invented
season.
one.
That's why I missed him so much in the last week of the regular season, is because
Horology is my craft.
he's packing
Tiki
heat.
is my name.
He's got artillery in his hands. And with this Novaria, which I still think they're going to revert to a normal lineup unless they reveal that they won't. What else is left out there? They're going to keep it down to the wire, man. They're not going to reveal the fact that this might still be a Novaria in Miles' hands.
But that's amazing, right? Somehow, you know, Mnne developed a weapon they can use in the playoffs.
Yep.
Miles on a Novaria, man. That's pretty. I'm sure that threw a wrench in the cog
Yep.
of all the research all the teams have done.
And
throughout the break.
And they don't have to, because the Minotaur is still out there. So they can still go back to a normal lineup anyways.
Great flex. I love it.
Good flex available. Once again, Benedetta going to be picked up here for Blacklist International. And this lineup is looking a little weird for me. You know, I know we talked about the Carmilla here. We have seen OHEP perform on this Harith. You can see the stats right there. They're broken down here for that pick. But how do they round this out?
Power of light incarnate.
That is the Kaja that they're going to pull out here. I don't know. How are we feeling about the lineup from Blacklist?
It's very centric into like a single target. They're probably not going to deviate. They're going to deviate a little bit from what they're used to.
Yeah.
Just go wombo combo, all 5-man, all in one location. They can't do that. If they do that here, they
Yeah.
actually will be in trouble a little
It's
bit.
pick off and then punish if there's backup. That's what Blacklist wants to do. And if I was Mnne Evos, I would bum rush a Radiant Armor.
Yeah,
Because
Radiant
look,
Armor.
the only real physical damage that they have is Benedetta.
That's what I was
Bennett,
looking at.
yeah.
On a Bunjinjing, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. There's a whole lot of magic damage here. And, of course, the Florin is picked up for Spider Miles here in their shade of the Ube. And so now, is that enough to deal with this?
I think so, yes, because that's how you answer the whole kill squad approach that Blacklist has. Again, it's not like they want to go all 5-man. It's more of 2- and 3-man killing coalitions, like ganking all around the map. And then what you have is the ultimate on the Florin, healing and nullifying that threat.
It looks really good right now. Obviously, with the swings that Mnne has done, they've proven that they can kind of pull off these kind of compositions that, you know, can kind of be flexed one way or another, and they got so much out of it. And yeah, Radiant Armor, 100%, right? I feel like, you know, it slowed down a little bit, but the damage is, you're still going to get maximum efficiency from it just because of the composition that Blacklist has.
Yeah, it's all magic.
all magic damage. Radiant Armor's going to be a huge pickup to go ahead and deal with that. And once again, as we look at the lineups here, we'll see exactly how it's executed on both sides as we jump into Land of Dawn once again for game number 3. It's 1-1 in the series. Mnne Evos and Blcklist International fighting for the playoff lives here, of course. And remember, it's an endurance matchup. We could go 5 games, and whoever wins the series has to face off again later today, waiting for Fnatic Onic. And now already early aggression, of course, going on. Haji gets that vision available to him, but you know, dealing with the floor in here for Blcklist will be something they have to do.
That's a good delay. Haji forced Kaizen to take his time with that purple buff, which I think puts Sensui up by about 5-10 seconds. And that's a big deal when you're early jungling rotation, first run.
Mnne can just stick together a lot here in the early parts of the game and still be pretty much in a good shape, even with Haji here. Obviously, without the Divine Judgment, they should not do as much damage. Even though gonna be slowed down just a little bit, but not anything. Right now, with the protection provided by Spider Miles, they can really just get work done.
All right, so with that too, again, we're going to have to see if this time around the success is going to be better for this jungle Carmilla in the hands of Sensui. I still think if you look at the way that the team fights are going to go, especially as we wait about 30 seconds for this turtle to come up, they could really work in favor of the way Carmilla works and deal with that. But Mnne Evo so far, this is something we've seen time and time again throughout the series. You know, this 3-4 members up here on that XP lane to go ahead and try to get this level 4 available. We know these ultimates are going to be crucial for them. So with that too, Spider Miles having this floor in, focusing Mark, mind you, as well, will help deal with this, dealing with some of that burst damage they should be able to throw out. So Turtle's now up. Both teams have the level 4s that they want available to them. Yue and Edward just getting it. But it looks like Mnne Evos is going to go ahead and give the first objective up.
Now they are going to slow it down. Obviously, they can't engage just yet.
Doming!
Doming though! No, my goodness, that was perfectly executed by Haji. The game sense of this guy, knowing that the recall probably isn't going to be completed in time, gets a kill over the Blcklist.
Yep, there was nowhere Doming was going to go, honestly. His dash must have been on cooldown. He has a flicker, but they can reposition. Oh, what?
Oh my god, the return spear of destruction going in stonks. Gonna be able to walk out of harm's way as well with a dash. Oh, I love this coming in from Mnne.
That's why.
Punchback.
It was premeditated. He knew that he was going to go for that. And I think Spider Miles played possum. Spider Miles played as if they were going to play defensively, but wait.
Oh, playing defensive doesn't work, especially if you have Edward going straight on your back. Now Kaizen definitely getting in trouble, not going to be able to use that gray health. Another kill for Blcklist. They seem to be upping tempo quite a lot here.
Yeah, just with a couple moves, they get themselves this lead now this early on, and they're going to punish. Like this Mnne Evos lineup that they have, they're able to punish. They know too, anytime that Divine Judgment's available, they have to respect it. They have to be careful of it. So they're going to try to force them back a little bit further here too. You see once again Edward picking up that Sea Halberd. He's got it available to deal with Spider Miles, that sustainability. So you see this building up quickly already for Blcklist.
And look at that, 2,000 gold lead. What's that got for you? Yes, there was the clap back from Doming, but Ohib here with a Starlium Scythe already. So I think with just this one item, I think big team fights are abound.
100%.
They can go for pickoffs immediately.
He can even duel out Doming on this Moskov, right? Because of that.
Yeah.
100%.
And again, it's up to Doming to really just have this game. And it's funny because 3 games now, different battle spells, right? Inspire to the Purify to now he's got the Flicker available to try to maybe even avoid getting Divine Judgment. You know, that's one of the main things he has to do. So with this objective up again, Flicker from Haji.
Speaking of Divine Judgment, Lancey just has nowhere to go. If Haji chooses you, you will go down, especially with Sensui, Edward, and Yue close by.
There you go, 100% turtle take rate for Blcklist so far. And I'm curious, we haven't really seen much of a collapse from Sensui. He's just happy taking these objectives. Like, what's the game plan here once Mnne Evos start to fight back? Because look, Blcklist has free reign.
100%, look at that. Sensui just happy to be there, basically,
Yeah.
right? He's like, I don't need to do much. I just have to be here, have my HP good, have retry.
He wants to press his ult.
Yeah, if you just press the ult with this lineup that they have,
he's fine.
It's devastating in the clumped up thing they're going to be from Mnne. Look at this top side as well.
Yeah, it's a 1v3 for Edward. Let's see if he can walk on out there, but no, in the Praise Draft, make sure that is not going to be possible. But it will be traded on the bottom at least for Blacklist, so at least a 1-for-1.
It's kind of what they have to do, right? From Mnne Evos, it's like we have to focus down, kind of bully Edward if he's left to his own. Because really, when we're talking about these team fights, it's tough. And, you know, dealing with that, it's a question of how fast can Mnne scale with this lineup that they have. Domeng obviously going to need a little time. They will get this turret in the top side down. We know that Lancey with this Novaria also has to build up and scale up. So, again, it's more so just dealing with the timer here. Vision's going to be available to them. They're going to hold down to this tier 1 the best they can. But look at that, Sensui just driving them off.
See, I'm just here, guys.
I'm here.
I'm here.
More than the question of how fast Mnne can scale up, it's also a question of how can they even do that? Because Blacklist, again, they are a kill squad lineup. They just send 2 or 3 dudes to any target from Mnne Evos, and they can usually secure that. How do you farm up? How do you give Domeng the space if you're always the threat of getting picked off? So now, Mnne Evos, much like in Game 2, I think they thought they could go for the same tempo, but Blacklist with this Kaja says, no sir, not like that. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And now with this 3K gold lead, I'll call it now 100% turtle take rate. Mnne are just looking at the late game now.
Yeah, especially now that Kaysen can't even go near with fear of a divine judgment.
And that's the presence, I would say, of any Kaja that is picked up. Flicker or not, as long as divine judgment is there, and Mnne Evos has to deal with it. And it's something that really when you approach the game, you don't want to be caught out with this lineup that they have. And even bottom side, look at this Domeng and Edward.
Oh no.
Edward, he's on the hunt here.
He
But
wants
of course, that's another 3 members that Mnne has to use. Make that 4 to take care of Edward. But Edward just surviving those crucial seconds while the rest of the team is up on top.
Abunjingjing died for this turret, and it's worth it, because he took the attention and the focus of 5 members of Mnne to get there.
That's twice now, right? It was Edward's life for a turret.
Yep.
And that's those minor plays, those minor sacrifices that they make is what's opening up the map for them to work around with. And still, Blacklist International, they got themselves nearly a 3K gold lead to work with and multiple turrets. So their position for this Lord, when it does come up in about a minute, is exactly where they want to be with the lineup. Now, you did see Kaysen. He picked up the Radiant Armor. We'll see exactly how the items are falling into place here.
There it is. You're also looking at a photo from Spider Miles. Abunjingjing here, rocking the Hunter Strike and that See Albert? Oh no, again!
The hunt is on, and now it's going to be Edward who's being hunted down with a follow-up kill. Coming in from Lancey. Mission successful here for Mnne.
I gotta say, that was clean.
Could get a push happening here.
3rd time's a charm, look at that. Oheb off camera. Kel 1 gets what he needed.
It's Edward again, though, for an exchange for an objective. And that keeps happening. So Mnne Evos, they're showing some signs of fight and hope in this to deal with the lead that they're working against, right, from Blacklist International. I'm just wondering if they're actually in a position, though, to dance toe-to-toe with the Lord dance that's going to happen here. Now that it's up, it's spawned. And really, Sensui, this is where it's like his time to shine with this Carmilla pick.
Yep.
Because so far, he's just been kind of up front, being like, hey, look at me.
He's just been there. That's all.
I'll tell you, Joseph, Carl, Mnne Evos cannot dance against
They
Blacklist.
can't dance?
If there was a chance that they were to show up here, it wouldn't be a dance. There would have to be shenanigans involved, right?
Shenanigans.
It would have to be a late entry Domeng, and then again, you're risking the fact of the Lord jumping you again, and there would have to be a deep backline penalty zone.
And obviously Sensui banking on everyone to collapse so he can get the perfect Curse of Blood from the Carmilla.
And he doesn't even want all of them. He wants like 3 or 4, 2 or 3 minimum.
And that's damage done already. And we're going to see if that's going to happen here. As we do see everyone just making sure there is space in between everyone.
Uh-oh.
Going on the other side of the map though, and now the collapse is happening for Blacklist. This time around, there is just no way for them to fight. Sensui securing that Lord as well.
Doming?
Space is being run down here by Doming. And now, Edward alongside Sensui. The crowd knows what's about to happen here.
He's got a flicker.
It's a question of who goes first, who pulls the trigger. Sensui with the backup here, and that's just, I don't know how to deal with that. If you were Doming, you would just, oh my goodness, flying up here with Haji as well. Flicker already used up. Doming trying his damn to stay alive, but it's no-go.
Oh man, Doming. He didn't have a choice.
An XP laner, a roamer doing that? Hell, maybe a stretch, a jungler? But that's a gold laner that bought what? A good 5 to 10 seconds of time across the map from his teammates to defend. And now Mnne Evos see a big old Lord knocking on their door.
Waves are cleared, but the Lord is still up on top side. Down goes the Eternal Guard. Kaizen's quite low here. Sensui still falling. Kaizen, the first rat, gets some HP back, but looks like Turtle Lord, rather, is going to be going straight for that tower. Oh, Spear of Destruction can be triggered, but Doming decides to go the safe route. They go for the clean defense.
Did you see that? Did you see the Carmilla ult in work there for that fight? It forced even the flicker from Spider Miles to deal with. So that is a preview of base defenses from Mnne Evos.
And it's not even a matter of itemization or the fact that it's all magic. Damage is damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can only reduce it and heal it away for so long. And now Blacklist, 5k ahead, clearly rocked Mnne Evos to their core. They penetrated top lane, and now that's permanent damage that Mnne Evos have to tend to. And across the map, something to note here, you only can hope for a clutch SOD or a clutch DPZ because those are ults that Blacklist see coming from a mile away. You have to know that Edward is never where you think he is.
That's the tough thing to deal with. Edward has done a lot, actually, for the way that things have unfolded. Again, with his life for a lot of this to get space to work with around this map. And now that you find yourselves at this position, if you're Mnne Evos, you don't want to always have to rely on Doming to do that, right? But the pressure that he can put on the side lane is great.
Yep.
But if he ends up getting collapsed on, sandwiched in, what have you, he needs to be there for the fights, of course, right? Especially as we get further on. So you want to be able to protect Doming at this point in the game and allow him to pump out the damage that you need to see from the Mozgov. Since we're going to find Kaizen here, though.
Finally a fight being committed by Mnne, or at least, figured out here by Kaizen. I don't know if they really want to fight this or not. Maybe they're trying to gauge whether or not they can actually take Sensui right now on this Carmilla, and you know what? The signal's been given. This Carmilla is way too tough.
You want me to drop some nuggets of wisdom on y'all?
Drop the nuggets of knowledge.
Dropping. You know who protects Doming best?
Who?
Doming. Doming protects Doming best. His positioning is going to be key in these big engagements, and if by some chance he dodges the Curse of Blood AoE, then it's fine. Kirk's down.
Down goes the penalty zone, and Kirk, I think he's already done
Goes
his job.
in.
As here comes Doming. He disappeared! Where'd he go? He disappeared!
What?
Doming's gone! I need a replay of that. I swear that I need the slow-mo because the moment he landed,
they popped him.
He got popped like a pimple.
He didn't protect himself, Leo!
He's somewhere in the astral zone.
He's somewhere out there.
Oh my goodness! At that point I was like, all right, he kind of has to go in.
He's coming in.
But then he was gone.
Yeah, because again, I told y'all, the best person to protect Doming is Doming.
So
He just didn't do it that time. He didn't do it that time.
I jinxed it.
What you meant is don't click the spear.
Yes.
And I guess
In the middle of a fight.
there was some level of frustration there. Mnne Evos said, you know what? We need to deal the damage. It's now or never. And now they're staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. Blacklist might just end it here now.
This is going to be tough for Mnne Evos. Once again, dealing with the Lord. We'll be able to make quick work of it, but now the next wave is going to be pushing in here.
Oh.
Blacklist wants these next two turrets.
Okay.
Kaizen goes in.
Yep. Bullhead this time around with the HP bars getting demolished this time around by Kaizen. And now the fight is being given to them by Mnne, who seems so confident now. Up on front is Kirk, obviously doing the work.
Wow.
Sensui not even lasting a few seconds in the front of his spear.
Oheb also, just as quickly as Doming disappeared, got clapped by a single Appraiser's Wrath.
Bang, bang.
Whew. Mnne Evo striking back. Just when we thought Doming got deleted, quickly the gold lead and the space advantage that Blacklist had is now getting deleted across the map as they make their way down the mid lane here. A couple shots happening, but Mnne Evos wants more.
They can get turned around so quickly. Haji all alone. Same with Edward. Can't even survive the onslaught of spears being thrown down by Doming this time around.
That was a tasty DPZ, a delayed penalty zone. You saw how Kirk was actually holding the ult and waiting for that tail end of the dash on Edward until he dropped it and killed him. Amazing read. Again, the game IQ on this young man, Kirk, who is a pseudo-rookie from Mnne Evos. Previously played for RSGPH, didn't really see much field action, and now he's where he belongs. And he's, what, ahead? Oh, no, he's still behind Benedetta. He's still behind Edward, but the way he's playing, it's as if that gap never existed. It's as if Mnne Evos isn't even behind 1,000 gold.
Yeah, that's Kirk doing his job, essentially, right? I mean, he's not going to be ahead in gold. Vendetta, so mobile, goes around the map, gets all the gold sources. But compared to other Terizla players probably right now in his shoes, he's doing a damn good job.
Gentlemen, check this out. The whole early to mid game for Sensui being rather, again, I'm going to use the B word, boring.
Yeah.
The B word.
Led him to not gaining much gold. See that Kaizen is farming up more, and this is a losing team. They were behind for a majority of the game, and still he was farming up more.
And with all that's happened, they pretty much diminished the gold lead. I mean, it's 1,000, but again, they had, what, 5,000 plus gold for Blacklist International?
Now it's negligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care because Doming's in a position now that they want him to be.
Impressive how they have rubber banded themselves into a late game position where all of the struggles in the early game are left null and void. Amazing. Now this is a fair dance. I would say this is a 50-50 Lord dance. This is a good contest.
For sure.
50-50 here. Both junglers having the immortalities available too.
Will Doming save himself?
Doming, again, going back to it. And look at Haji's positioning, waiting to use that flicker, Divine Judgment. Kaizen going to be the focus though.
That's so far back. Down goes to Zaman Force. And Mnne seems to be quite willing to take it. They're taking down some bodies here. Kaizen, Immortality already popped here. And the flicker committed, making sure that Mnne does not have the retribution. It seems like Blacklist just wanted the Lord after all.
All right, that's a little bit of too much protection from Doming. He's literally skedaddled out of there. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Protect yourself, Doming.
Good pull the trigger.
Yep.
There you go.
He overprotected himself. he excised himself from the team fight. And I think that's what Blacklist read. They read the map so well and said, you know what? We saw Doming down bottom, collapse.
Very important now as they get ready for this next assault. Mnne Evos finds themselves on the defense. They still, once again, have great clear with this Moskov and the rest of the lineup here. Kaizen will come up for this defense. But this time around, expect Haji. Doesn't have the flicker, but he's got the Divine Judgment available. We'll see if they can hold on to this game any longer. The turrets are going to be taken out already.
All right, Lord's pushed up on top. We're still looking for who Haji chooses as the Divine Judgment target. Down goes the Spear of Destiny. Can't be used anymore, maybe on a split. Here comes the Sound Force for Oheb. Down goes Springcraft. Good damages. But look at the Eternal Guard. Instant punch back coming in from Blacklist.
Man, again, Mnne Evos going to hold on, and they hold on to one turret.
Woo! And they're able to do that at the cost of just Kirk. Folks, well, let me remind you, there was a Lord inside the base, and Mnne Evos had to both fight that fight, protect their base, and keep themselves safe.
Oh, they might lose it here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll see though, as the turret does go down.
Their base.
Doming dashed in already. I think that is the signal for Blacklist to go here.
Kaizen.
Eternal Guard once more into the right targets. 2 down, and the base all alone, but minions are nowhere to be found.
Doming taken out. They're going to bob and weave.
They're bobbing and weaving. Inspired Mouse buy some time here to get that minion back on track, but Oheb takes him down as well. And all the minion bodies exploding because of the Vexana passive here. It does seem like the minions are going to be here in time. And another Zaman Force on the floor. Kirk with a last-minute penalty zone to try to clear that wave. And it is Blacklist on top 2-1.
The Champions Arena erupts as now Blacklist International hits match point in the series against Mnne Evos. It's 2-1.
Game 2, Mnne Evos brings out the Novaria Rome. Game 3, Blacklist brings out the Carmilla Jungle, getting its first dub in
Finally.
Season 13.
About time.
And to be fair, its threat really only reared its ugly head towards that last 5 minutes of the game, right? Wherein even inside the...
Sino nga ba ang the one para sa Blacklist? Sensui! The Zen Master on the Carmilla. And pag-usapan natin ang Carmilla pickup ng Blacklist International in the jungle. The biggest utility of the Carmilla, yes, mahirap siya patayin dahil sa ability niya, the first skill, yung mga Rosas, umiikot sa kanya kung saan kinukuha niya yung magic and physical defense ng mga kalaban niya, and then at the same time, nakaka-lifesteal while dealing damage. And then, of course, yung ultimate ng isang Carmilla kung saan 50% of the damage 50% of the damage dealt by your team dun sa mga targets na namarkahan niya, mabibigay sa kung sino man ang masakop sa ultimate ng isang Carmilla. So, damage will get split. Kaya nakita natin for Blacklist International, their priorities in this draft were 3 heroes na kung makuha nila yung magandang early game will snowball in a devastating fashion. The Harith, the Vexana, and of course, the Carmilla. Because Carmilla likes being paired up with heroes na nagbibigay ng burst damage. Kasi kung mahuli mo yung mga kalaban mo, sabihin natin 3, 4, that's more damage instantly dealt across everyone who got caught. Speaking of getting caught though, we could see that in that highlight, we have to comment, of course, Lancy in the Novaria. Now, Mnne Evos, nakita naman natin yung pag-adjustment with the Carmilla pick-up. They picked up 2 heroes na sobrang mag-backline lang. Ayaw nila masyado lumapit sa laban, so that means that's less heroes getting damaged by the Carmilla split. Pero, even if you have a frontline that has the Fredrin, has the Terizla, na nakita natin gumana naman talaga sa early game, pag nakapag-snowball ang isang Harith, one of the picks that really changed the meta after the biggest patch, the big patch that we had midway through the season, mahirap talaga makakomeback sa scenario na yon. At nakita natin isa sa mga key plays ay yung pag-frontline bigla ni Oheb to surprise Mnne Evos, and Blacklist International were able to fight. But Sensui was the MVP of the game here kasi nakita naman talaga yung pag-maximize ng ultimate ng Carmilla. And this is a lot of pressure for one Carmilla because with the Kaja as your roamer, pick-off type yung roamer ng Blacklist International. So hindi naman masyado magpa-frontline si Haji ganun katagal. Siguro maglapag ng skill, get the pick-off with the Divine Judgment, then magbaback na siya, maybe to provide a little peel for the backline kung madelix yung backline. Yung frontliners dito ng Blacklist International would be the Benedetta of Edward, yung technically, pwede mo nangalagay doon yung ultimate ni Vexana kasi parang 6-member na yun para sa Blacklist. And of course, the Carmilla as well. So, again, Sensui really one of the best examples of the utility jungler in terms of frontline ka, tank ka. Yes, trabaho mo rin mag-retry and in the late game, kung hindi mo matamaan yung retry mo, di kawawa naman tayo. A lot of pressure put into the shoulders of Sensui. MVP performance still is what he got. Looking at the items here, of course, a popular build for the Kajas of the world. Dominance Ice into the fleeting time para mahabol mo na talaga kagad yung ultimate niya as your lineup plays around the ultimate of the Kaja. And because of that, Blacklist International played around their gold lane, making sure that Oheb can farm up really quickly. Looking back at the lineup of Mnne Evos, other than sabihin natin yung Moskov ng Mnne Evos, there's not really a hero that stands out as something that can give the Harith a hard time. Yung Harith nga ni Oheb may Purify, so sabihin natin kahit mahuli siya sa mga crowd control nila, Kaizen, Kirk, Spider-Mouse, any other crowd control from the side of Mnne Evos, it'll be really difficult. At nakita naman natin yan sa damage dealt, 101.5 thousand damage dealt by that Harith, paired up with the Vexana, and of course the ultimate getting dished out by the Carmilla. Yung mga damage na nadideal ng isang Harith will get split amongst the members of Mnne EVOS. Nakita naman natin with Mnne EVOS, they showed one of their bright spots here is magaling din naman sila magbasa ng mapa at maghanap ng trades. Yun yung best quality for Mnne EVOS, I would say. Other than katulad ng sinabi ni Coach Paulo Expert kanina with their ability to trade or poke and magaling sila mag-team fight is that if ever, kahit natatalo sila, nagko-commit sila ng isang play.
Is the Carmilla the Popoling Koopa? I think there's more.
There probably
Wait,
is,
what?
man.
You should.
There it is.
All right.
Okay.
There it is.
All right.
There's our guy.
No more. No more shenanigans.
No more.
We got new tricks up our sleeves. What else? Faramis is open.
But, you know, that's the thing. It's a first pick. What do you want?
You gotta get the Faramis. Or Arlo. No, Arlo's still banned out.
Yeah, he's still banned out.
Matthew Hilda's banned out too.
Man, I'm wondering, really, because we just haven't seen too much of the landscape where Fredrin is, you know, taking out Arlo, of course.
Yep.
Barrett's, maybe? I don't know. Do you want to
Angela's open for the first time.
Oh.
Yep. Angela's open for the first time. Blacklist, though, based on the clapback, they could play for a Vexana. What is this?
There's no voice.
All right. Late save Faramis. So all the more, the Valentina becomes a priority for Blacklist.
Pretty safe. Pretty safe. And if you do go for an Angela, what's going to be the priority here, though? Right? What's the combo looking like? Carmilla, though.
Wow. And now it's Blacklist's turn on the Moskov.
Wow.
Kiel 1's going to have a field day.
Oh. Okay. Well, you know what? I like the combo just because this is one of those ways where you can make the Moskov a little bit AoE.
That's right.
With Curse of Blood.
Yeah, I think something that I failed to mention in Game 3 earlier was I think Reptar did take care of a good chunk of it. Yeah. Carmilla acts as a force multiplier. Yeah. Whatever good you have going with your roster, with your lineup, the output just gets so much better if you get it right with the ult.
That's a big if, though, right?
Yeah.
So conditional. They made it work for Game 3.
Yep.
That's not a guarantee it'll work for Game 4, especially with a very fickle hero like Moskov.
Yeah, it's there's no guarantees here. But to take this first phase, that's going to be the Akai, it sounded like, that's picked up alongside the CC.
Oh, first time CC's being picked here. Again, she has been banned consistently throughout the series. So now they have a solid pickup on Kirk. Between CC and the Faramis, that's at least two heroes that allow for you to pick fights and keep going.
Okay, so now that they have this, the next pickup here, of course, for Blacklist International, what do they want to do? Pick up their mid lane this early on to not have things banned out for UA, or
an XP laner?
Do they go with the XP lane?
Yep, I reckon.
Don't tell me it's Benedetta again.
Benedetta Pack are solid picks here.
Maybe they change it up here this time, too. You can see this, the Arlot, though, for Haji. Quite impressive stats, but it's going to be the Vexana that they go with instead.
Right. Again, it's very rare that Yue gets his free pickings at a hero like this. This is his #1 hero.
Yeah.
If I am not wrong, might even be Blacklist's #1 hero overall, too. Maybe second to the Fred.
Okay.
They're adding in that ease of execution fact. Whenever you lock in the Vexana and give it to a player like Yue, who's usually very cerebral, very,
He's so good at using space.
Yeah, exactly. Using space. It does so much. Not to mention also, again, adds the Curse of Blood factor.
Despair that I see.
Good ban. Nathan comes out.
Here we go.
Because really you're wondering, okay, what this time around, what is Domain going to pick up? Because the Nathan's banned out. I'm wondering, too, if they still want to take out possibility the Claude, if they actually go on another gold lane option for him. Minotaur is going to be taken out, of course, by Mnne.
Wait.
What are we thinking here?
This is tricky. Because of the Minotaur ban from Mnne EVOS,
There's a Claude.
Are they planting the seeds of maybe Faramis Roam? Are they saying, oh, this might be a Faramis Roam, yo?
Could be.
Right? Why would you do that?
Good point.
Why would you do that? Spider Mouse is amazing on the Minotaur. I mean, the Florin is still out there. The Raphael is still out there, too. The Angela as well. That's
yeah, it's kind of crazy that the
uncommon.
Angela's still open.
That is uncommon, to say the least.
And you're also going to have to think about who's the roam going to support here. Who are you going to try and stay alive, keep alive here? Is it going to be possibly a Bruno, a carry? Like those aren't really hot picks right now.
I think if Domain goes with, I don't.
A Roger?
I don't know. A Roger?
Yeah.
What was that last ban? Okay, of course the Hellcurt. Hellcurt does not slip through just yet.
Nope.
She's going to be banned out.
Hellcurt is just a cheese level on a whole nother plane.
XP lane for this to match up against the CC. What's best?
MPLP is just not ready for the Hellcurt yet.
They're all still out there, to be honest, like the Benedetta and the pack. The aforementioned double pick for Abunjingjing. Like they're two solid pickups.
This time around, I'd like to see him go to the pack.
I would, yeah. Why not?
Is there a reason to pick the Riz, though?
Yeah, there is a reason. Like, you don't want to be like the solo tank right now if you're Sensui, right? So they actually do want that front line.
They can pick the Riz as well.
I am the power of light and
That
Karnak.
is a Kaja.
They'll keep it down to the wire.
Same.
All
Pretty
right.
much like game 3.
And this is the thing. Like, remember, going back to the previous game, it's still the threat of the Kaja plus the Carmilla.
Kajmilla.
Kajmilla, that's what we're calling it. All right,
because
Kajmilla.
even if it's a single target ult, you can spread out the damage, spread out the love. Again, force multiplier.
And you know what? Also the CC.
That's right,
It spreads out Divine Judgment.
Wait. That's not CC, that's suppression. Does it?
Yes.
So they all go, oh, they go.
Let me double check that.
They just go all a little, oh.
I just want to double check.
Does the math work out?
That's a good
That's
question.
in the text. It's
like,
in the text of Curse of Blood.
It's like you put your opponents in a parenthesis, and then you put a division underneath all of them.
It gives 50%.
Oh, here we go!
Leslie!
We're going to Leslie. That's where they're going. Domang is picking up the Leslie, and then they also get the Angela here.
This is the first time we're seeing Leslie in MPL Philippines Season 13.
Was that a debut pick?
That's a debut pick, good
right.
sir.
Just to confirm, all linked targets take 50% of the damage and become controlled for 100% of the duration. Oh no, never mind.
All right, so here's what's tricky. Mnne only has one real peel. Well, two, technically. The CC and the Akai, but they both go in different directions. Is that enough? And am I looking at a Rome Angela again?
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm not comfortable with this.
Does feel like a Rome Angela.
I'm not comfortable. What's Abunjingjing playing?
Kindness is the surest
And there's the answer.
ruination.
The
Oh,
Yuzhan.
right.
They are looking for the front line.
Oh wow, with the Leslie pickup, all the more. Abunjingjing was given the incentive to go with a hero that just goes straight for the back line.
Yeah, just fly straight to the Leslie. Don't give him time to reposition. Don't give him time to hit your teammates.
That's A to Z, or in this case, A to Y and Z. Oh, this is tough.
Oh, look at the look at the quake on
Yep.
the cameras. I love it. Anyway.
Just the
That's the
effects.
intensity.
Oh wow, okay, all right. I am scared for Mnne Evos. This is too high concept for me.
It's I guess it's like look at their lineup rating though, man. Like that's what I think the highest so far for the series, 5.63.
Yeah.
Now, I know we always have to like take it with a grain of salt though.
A good chunk of this is off of that support utility.
Yeah. And
That skewed the stat.
it skewed the stat. There's a lot of utility, obviously, for them with the Angela and then, of course, with the Faramis locked in here. Now, Leslie is what I was going to say is my biggest question mark on how they can actually make this work because we don't have much data.
I think
this is the debut.
The Leslie and the Angela Rome. That's what's worrying me. Here we go.
Match point once again for Blcklist International to move on through the play-ins stage here to kick off the playoffs for Season 13 MPL Philippines. And we're going to take a look at the early rotations here. Mnne Evos with this lineup. This interesting lineup. Can it work out? We're going to take a look at the emblems in just a second here too, but already Smart Miles having that focusing mark paired up again with a Leslie even is what I'm looking at.
Here we go. All right, if you're trying to build a Leslie right now, it's an assassin emblem, of course. And that's Weakness Finder, yeah?
Yeah.
That's Weakness Finder and Weapon Master. Okay.
Okay, so with that, once again, burst potential from Mnne Evos is what I'm going to look out for. Now, other part of that is dealing with Haji, just like in the previous game that we saw. Once that Divine Judgment's available, every time he has that flicker available, they're going to look for a play. Look at this already.
Aggressive flicker in for Spider Miles.
Wow!
Power hits. And it's going to be a trade 1-for-1. Doming with the kill, though. That's pretty massive. But here comes Haji. Tries to pick up the pieces there. But that was a flicker committed. Spider Miles so in the game here.
Yep, Oheb just had to dash and use a little bit of it as Inspire. So, fortunately for Oheb, Miles died before he did. So he got to see all of that, got to get all of that.
Yeah, he got that extra there, but you know, even with that move, oh, hold on, heavy spin.
Oh, Oheb just got back, but
wow.
Already being pressured up non-stop by Mnne. The rest of the squad is here. They're ready to fight this. Haji can't really do much, and now they created a lot of space. Speaking of space though, top side, easy pickings for Blacklist.
They traded the turtle for Oheb, and again, it's not like Oheb had to die.
Yeah.
It's just they went full on ube on the gold lane.
And so this is what you can expect, the trading across the map to happen here, especially with this. So Oheb is quite behind. You know, yeah, he got that early kill with that exchange, but now he's struggling. So they're going to have to kind of pay attention to him, especially now that Haji is close to that level 4. He's going to have that Divine Judgment available. So then that's where there's the threat. It's like flipping a switch, basically. Once Kaja has that Divine Judgment, then you got to respect it a little bit. There it is.
Full committal once more for Blacklist this time around. The flickers are so spicy, and Spider Mouse can't even save him. And now with Lancey on the way, my goodness, Blacklist on fire right now.
That's that switch. Boom, it's on.
That's it right there.
Turn it on. Yue close by. We have a play. Let's do it.
And no matter how fast Mnne Evos can burst down whichever target they choose, nothing beats suppression. Again, nothing in the game can go through suppression. So the fact that Haji here, who has spent the latter half of the regular season honing his shot calling, becoming the heart and soul of this new era of Blacklist, that's going to be tough. Again, the numbers are against Blacklist in the early game, but it looks like they've clawed their way through, and now they're in the lead, about 200 gold.
Yeah, which is crazy because when you think, Oheb, he went down 2 times early on. He's leading in gold right now against Doming. And it's just a little bit, but that'll continue to build up here. Yeah, the battle spells are also down, so they got to wait a little bit for them to be online. So Mnne Evos, that window, that early game window that they had, it's closed, but they can still find these openings, and that's what's so great when you have an Akai. He's almost, when you're able to get the heavy spin lockdowns, it's great. You have Kirk on the CC, which has been banned out again for quite a bit of the series that can pop up now, and we've seen just how strong a CC with a Vengeance can be in a lot of these skirmishes and team fights. So now, this turtle, we expect a fight to break out, a dance to commence here. Sensui in position alongside Yue. Edward making his way. Haji there too. Has the Divine Judgment. Do they trade it though?
This is what I'm really curious about. How does the fight look with Edward in the mix? We're seeing them looking straight into Kaizen. Kurt also already being protected here by the Heart Guard. Yue going down. Sensui still gets the turtle. And the fight looks like it's just trying to just last on it.
Kaizen couldn't even get close. You saw that.
Yeah,
Blacklist did everything.
He almost did, and then there was just way too much firepower presented by Blacklist, so he just called it off. Interesting, though, the fact that, again, you now know that Oheb has seen how Doming plays, and again, if you're a gold laner in the current metagame, you have to understand the ebb and flow of a Moskov in the early to mid. So it's impressive how he's, whoa.
Oh my goodness.
How he's recovered. Again, looking at this, he's up by 300 gold over Doming.
Yeah, so with that, things have kind of evened out there for the most part too, but it's interesting that the fact too that Doming picked up, the Sea Halberd first, rushed that in, locks it in, probably going the Berserker's Fury next, I would assume. It's been a while since we've really seen Leslie played, of course, but once you get, I would say, Berserker's Fury and maybe the BOD or maybe whatever that third item is going to be for this build path here for Doming, that's really when you have to respect that damage paired with the extra 6% from the focusing mark.
All right, here we go. Haji taking a face full of the ultimate snipe. Here's something to note. Mnne Evos, they have yet to get one single turtle, right?
Yep.
Blacklist, their objective control is so amazing that one of the main strengths...
So deep in, and target is locked. And they're looking for Lancey at the very least slow down that Netherrealm, but they are able to get it back in time. The dive in here from Kaizen should be crucial, but he does not have teammates nearby. It is all him against the whole of Blacklist, and now they take care of business.
Oh man, that's frustrating if you're Mnne Evos and Kaizen. He's feeling very heavy trying to get in position on that.
In more than one avenue, Mnne Evil should have won that fight.
Yes.
There were several pathways for them to have just cornered the core heroes from Blacklist, yet Blacklist were able to shimmy their way out. And instead, it was Mnne Evil who got schlocked into position there.
Oh, no.
And walked away with zero, nothing. And now Blacklist are going to get 100% turtles.
Oh, no!
Spear hit to the face and Edward finishes it off.
Spear!
Schlock!
Schlock, bro.
That's a good way to
They're
explain
not done!
Oh, they're still going. They're diving up on the turret. They're not afraid at all. Even without minions, Eternal Guard in hand. But how long can they keep this up? Kaizen takes care of it, but everyone else got wiped off the map.
This is the Ube revival. Blacklist International. It's like looking at themselves in the mirror.
Oh my goodness. Oh, in-game code. In-game code.
Oh, in-game code.
Dun,
Grab
dun,
it now.
dun. Grab
All
it
you
now.
guys in the chat asking,
And-
where code?
It's gone.
There it is.
Maybe. It's
Grab
still
it
there.
while you can. Man, talk about Blacklist grabbing everything that they
Okay.
could right there.
Okay, Doming's firepower is getting there.
He's got
but not-
Berserkers now.
But not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
This is 2 items. I reckon this young man should have a sea halberd in his item path soon.
Who, Doming?
Oh, there it is. It's already there.
Yeah, he rushed it.
BOD then, sorry. I meant
BOD.
BOD. He definitely needs to get in there.
I think once he gets the BOD, that's really when the threat comes. But I'm wondering, is Blacklist even going to allow that timing to happen here? Look at that.
And over the wall he goes. And NetherRealm deactivated for Mnne with Blacklist in
no.
their heels.
Oh,
They're
man.
running it out. Doming looking for targets. Sensui is the one he chose, but he's just super tanky right now into Carmilla.
All right, ultimate snipe called off.
Still
Kaizen.
going. Can still do some pretty good damage here. And there goes the curse. Link is going to be Kaizen and Doming. It's not going to slow down the attack, though, as there is an attack from behind. Kirk goes down, even with the heart guard.
What is the power play happening right now? Ultimate going to be dropped, but nothing will be able to suffice for Mnne Evos with that exchange. They are struggling against what Blacklist lineup is able to do time and time again. And if it's not Haji pulling the go signal, it's Edward on the backside, or it's Sensui just sitting there in the front, standing menacingly. And now, Lord up here, pulled again.
Another wave, another momentum shift here by Blacklist, currently pushing back the jungler of Mnne. Kaizen obviously going to be saved there with NetherRealm and a huge committal of the hard guard. That will mean a free Lord once more for Blacklist, 6K ahead in gold.
What's difficult for Mnne Evos is their lineup is so honest in what kind of damage and who they're targeting with, right? Check it out. It looks like it's an endless battle first being built onto Doming before the Blade of Despair, which I understand, right? Economy is tight. And you need to be able to get what items you have in the short amount of time you have. It's going to be difficult to cough up the gold to get to that Blade of Despair. But for Blacks International, this is a very comfortable 6K gold lead. This is the money that is stopping Mnne Evos from ever even picking a fight. I think that last kill on a Kirk, even after the Heart Guard, is a sign that, hey, you're not ready for it yet. Please don't. And by playing defensively, Mnne Evos might actually be able to get back, but I don't know if their wave clear is as good as it has to be.
That's the question, is how long do they need?
And can they hold on? How long
can they hold on?
And will Kaizen find his target? I mean, it's so difficult, man.
Not only that, but like with the one,
Oh,
Haji!
the pull in again. Black is being very proactive now, playing up under this hard guard.
Wow!
Kirk this time around taking care of Oheb. This is a huge swing.
Okay, Oheb down. Edward
Another
down
one!
slow.
Edward's gonna fall as well. Kirk looking for targets. Spotted out by the Eternal Guard means that might be the full retreat. Mnne getting back on the board.
That's what they needed. The whole ball clap back. Amazing work shutting down Oheb, taking down Edward, and I think they have found out step one in getting back into this game. They gotta scatter Blacklist.
They gotta scatter them.
They gotta break down the Ube.
Oh man, and with everything that happened.
And they would know.
They would.
And I could have sworn it was impossible because they forced Kaizen to use a defensive heavy spin. Like he scrambled.
It looked good already, yeah. for a moment there.
For Blacklist, but yeah, no, look, a negative gold benefit
Negative!
on that Lord.
And that was all that happened too. Domeng was able to pick up the Endless Battle. So that was his next item that he locked in, possibly going for the BOD next year.
Now it's BOD time.
BOD.
Now it's BOD time. Checking out what Blacklist is up to on items. That's 3 core items already on US, so he's still definitely a force to be reckoned with, a threat. Great pickup on Haji, though. He has a Twilight Armor and the Fleeting Time. Oh, wait, here we go.
Oh, this time around, it's Kaizen who came out on top of the execution here. But look at this, Edward straight into the back line, and they take care of Kaizen because of that. They can't do anything. Oh my goodness, it's a bloodbath. Oh, Heaven's still alive. They removed the Nether Realm. It's a 4v5. It's still defensible here. There's no minions available.
They want the turret.
They want that turret, though. They get it.
Okay.
Wow.
Snipe's gonna come down.
All
Not
right.
enough damage to clean anything up. So down Kaizen, their jungler's gone. Blacklist just says go.
All right.
Get that Lord.
Are they going to try to contest?
Yeah, that's a big question mark. And they are the ones who got taken care of again. Lancey down for the count. Another one for the Blacklist.
That's got to have been a communications breakdown if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Lancey had no business walking in there all by his lonesome. And here's the thing. The fact that they saw what their win con could be, something tells me maybe Mnne Evos, some members of them might want to go much faster than the others.
Yeah.
Because this is a fight where Blacklist was comfortable taking it, despite the amazing heavy spin by Kaizen. So with that said, I think we're back to square one, at least to where we were 2 team fights ago. Blacklist in control, 8K ahead.
Massive swing once again in momentum for Blacklist International to work with. They got that turret down too. Kirk, you're probably going to want to get back to base unless he's just trying to make a play on the backside. Lord's in the base now.
Yeah, since Sui is all charged up and ready
Kirk.
to go, they find Kirk once more. Heart guards in tow here, but they're taking care of turrets instead. Lord is there for the count, and another pullback here by Haji. Able to save here by Lancey at the very least, but now it is time. It's now or never here for Blacklist, for Mnne rather. Now they take they take so much, and they give so little, and they are fighting back. The Hulk Ball definitely doing some work here, but in the end, it's 2 for 2 with a successful defense for Mnne.
They stayed in the game though.
They're not going down without a fight. Mnne Evos, their base still stands. Blacklist, another taste of what could be. If Mnne Evos find the perfect entry, look at that, the bodies lay in mid lane. We'll check it out again where it all went wrong, because again, that could have definitely been Blacklist ending the game.
All right.
This is big brain moves by Kirk.
That's right, Mnne Evos here, still in it. The
So
back
good.
line play, the reason for him staying in the back there was worth it. And look at the CC, and then Domeng just with the killer instinct. Target acquisition through the roof.
It's it's very micro play, but I also like that they really stuck together. No one could get targeted immediately.
Yeah.
So even though they are down by numbers.
Yeah, and Blacklist had a tough choice. Do we lean into this fight that we could maybe win because we are up on firepower? Or do we just back off? And I think it's that confusion in that moment that allowed for Mnne Evos to win a trade. Again, any kind of 2 for 2 trade when you're ahead is bad.
Yeah, and this
True
is
that.
where it gets a little scary too, because now the BOD's locked in from Domeng. We just got a preview of what the damage can look like as they were trying to defend their base. Yeah, the base is fully exposed here, but you're going to see them check it. They have to respect the damage potential, and being able to spot things out, of course, is crucial too with Domeng here. Now, Haji, if he makes a play, if he lands the Hail Mary of Flicker Divine Judgments and gets the automatic -1 from the line of Mnne Evos, that's going to be a huge power to play to work with. Lord's coming up here, though. Does Mnne Evos want to find a positioning for this, given how things have fallen into place? Once again, as they approach that Lord pit, they have to watch out for Haji here. So Blacklist will go ahead and start this Lord up, and they're not trying to waste any time with it.
No,
Look at their positioning.
That's tough. Even with 7K ahead, Blacklist know that there could be a contest, but I think Mnne Evos are much better on the defense. Maybe they can play defensively here. Maybe they can just wait until Lord is knocking on their door and then find another scatter team fight.
They're looking for the opportunity. They're looking for that opening. Blacklist also just playing it patiently. I don't blame them.
Yep.
They have the luxury to do this.
Good pickups here, taking their time this time around. Blacklist gonna go for it. Dragon Form.
That's Edward straight up on Lancey. He's looking for targets. He's also looking for Domeng, who is actually pretty far away. And now, because of that, it is going to be an easy day for the Lord, at least for now.
Oh no.
Edward? Good. Kzen looking for Edward. Eternal Guard trying to help out here. Edward's fine.
Oh!
Now it is going to be the full-on collapse. And it is going to be Oheb going down first. Domeng looking so good with a hard guard.
Oh my goodness, Haji found Domeng, but they couldn't kill him! And now the Lord!
The Lord wants it! Lord wants to end, but I don't think it's going to be enough. What's Blacklist going to do here? Oheb nowhere to be found to provide fire support. And because of that, another successful player for Mnne.
The Hokbo are still in it. After a messy team fight where I could have sworn Spider-Man was holding on. Where is it? Where do I jump? Where do I jump? And they got an amazing catch, right? Off of Haji. But still, the fact that they found Oheb in the backline and did not suffer any deaths means Mnne EVOS, despite the communications breakdown prior, are still in it.
Moscow seemed to be evaporating today, right? I didn't even notice Oheb dying.
This it's insane because Haji was able to get Domeng with that. Now Kirk!
Another one. Divine Judgment this time around. It does feel like it will be on tilt. It's Mnne on the offensive.
Oh, he's cut off.
Curse of Blood is activated, but it's not going to be there for long.
They're so low.
So low, everyone on Blacklist right now. It is Mnne fighting with heart, looking for their mark. They find Sensui because of that.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Blacklist understood who the dominant force was in that engagement. Look at the noobs from that player lobby cam, right? He's like saying, Busyan, Busyan! And that was just off of a single engagement wherein you could have argued that was a delayed heavy spin.
Yeah.
That was a reactive heavy spin.
Yeah. Maximum respect for Blacklist, knowing that you know what, they can't handle it. So just gonna try to test out the waters there.
Kirk.
They got burned.
Yeah, Kirk picking up the next item here. Okay, it looks like, yeah, he's got that Brute Force Blessed Plate in, locked in. He's defensive as hell, especially when that Vengeance is popped. And depending on where the Heart Guard goes, look at this. They are just forcing finally Blacklist International to just stay in their tracks. Even with an exposed base, they have this much zeal, this much confidence in themselves to move around the map.
Respect my authority.
But you know what? Speaking of map, I feel like Mnne just has to keep doing this. They need to always keep those minions far, because one Spear of Destiny into the base with a nearby wave is game. No matter where Oheb is.
Yep. Just needs to time it well. Someone nearby, and then just
even a minion nearby.
Maybe 2 seconds with the base for free. That's it. So again, map control still clearly with Black, but team fight wise, it looks like Mnne EVOS now have their number.
They definitely have Fangs this time.
They're exactly where they want to be here.
This is close to 50-50.
Okay, it's going to come down to keep an eye once again on Haji, deciding who he wants to go in and pull. There's a lockdown.
They lock down Edward. Edward is the call.
Oh!
He's going to fall without any answer at all. And there it goes. Netherrealm already used up. Blacklist seemed to be calling for a retreat.
Oh, the base is being pushed in, though.
Base getting pushed in. Oheb is alive. Don't forget that. No Inspire means that this might not be the go time, though, for now. But Mnne, they know that condition. They know that win condition that exists.
All right, now we've broken the 20-minute mark over the regular season. These two teams both have the longest average game time, respectively. Blacklist number 1, Mnne EVOS second. And now we're going into the late game, the end game, if you will. And to be fair, both teams present a pretty solid threat, right? Again, as mentioned, Oheb can just come into the base, backdoor it, right? Oh, here we go. Oh, spotted.
Oh, spy it out,
Wait, he's still going?
He's still going?
He has a flicker, all right.
He does, but almost too risky.
Woo! Woo!
All right, that's called off.
That's a minute and a half until he can do that again.
Yeah.
And here we go. Kzen used up the heavy spin already. Sensui! Oh! He gets it! He gets that target. Oheb falls as well. Oh my goodness, this is looking so bad for Blacklist right now. And Mnne are capitalizing. And Manus cannot handle it.
Whoa!
Oh no!
Haji is playing up on their towers here, but Mnne have to be careful not to overplay. Kirk is definitely playing it to the maximum on that CC.
Hold up, what is that? At least 30 seconds until it's just Haji on the map.
Oh,
It's only Haji. They're just going to wait for this wave to push in.
It's one minion though. Can they
Haji?
maximize that?
Well, not technically even a wave, it's a cart.
It's a literal cart.
They got 18, 17 seconds
Haji
for
knows the mission,
Sensui.
but he can't do it.
He can't get close enough. He might with the
Can't
first
get
skill
close
here.
enough.
Oh, he's got to
tag it up.
sacrifice.
And here comes the actual wave. And I think
And the ball!
we have a game number 5.
Against the odds, Mnne Evos holds on to take it to game 5.
Leslie wins! Leslie wins! We have a new marksman in the gold lane, ladies and gentlemen. And off of the back of the team that was known to collapse and to ube, they now have suddenly a single target marksman in their arsenal. If Mnne Evos go deep into the playoffs, teams now have to respect Domeng's Leslie.
Oh man, not was
Showing that he is the alpha and the omega with his multiple one-shots. 6-2-6 on the KDA. And siguro nagtaka tayo lahat, bakit Leslie? Kaya ba ng Leslie with a Yu Zhong last pick? Shades of an old playoff strategy, I believe it was season 10 or season 11. A last pick Leslie on the blue side, a Yu Zhong on the red side. The side that picked Leslie lost. But this time around, panalo ang Leslie up against a lineup built to give it a lot of difficulty. Bisita natin ulit yung lane matchup nila. Moscow versus the Leslie. Nag-umpisa yun sa gold lane wherein the first kill of the game was Oheb. Helped by Spider Miles, it was Domeng who delivered that first killing blow. But then, nakita naman natin that later on, even after multiple ganks from the side of Mnne Evos para hirapan yung Moskov ng Blcklist International to give difficulty to the Filipino sniper, well, they were still able to control majority of the game. Nakita natin na pag hindi nakuha ng Mnne Evos yung umpisa nila, Blcklist International will be able to control a majority of the game backed up by the Kaja of Haji. There were a lot of questions pinned on this young man. Yung shot calling ni Kapitan, sapat na ba? Pinakita ng Blcklist International at ni Imam God na sapat talaga. It got to the point where it was Blcklist International leading the majority of the game, and with a new signature, the best defense is no defense, galing sa Mnne Evos, somehow, someway, nakadepensa sila dahil nakapag-farm up na ang Leslie. And the key duo of the lineup of Mnne Evos, the CC and the Angela, magbigay ng space para sa Leslie para makapag-free hit si Domeng. Two lineups built to protect their backliners. Both have the right tools and options para depensahan ang frontline at ang backline para hindi maabutan ang gold laners. Pagalingan na lang ng pindutan. But Mnne Evos, remember the second part of their title, healers. Yung kunat, yung sustain, the heals dished out. Clutch ultimates by Lancy, by Spider Miles. Mnne Evos takes game number 4. As we look at the stats here, we're gonna have to revisit Domeng. Full Assassin Emblem, Quantum Charge, and of course Weapons Master to make sure that he gets the quicker scaling and of course more damage dished out. Crit as well. Crit damage assassin type Leslie. No need for attack speed. We go for the increased passive, the true damage dealt out by a Leslie. On the side of Blcklist International, you see their lineup was built to combo around the ultimate of the Kaja. Magpipick off si Haji, and then once you get that pick off, combo na lang. Either Sensui's gonna dish out the roots, US gonna dish out the crowd control and the damage as well. Kitang-kita mo naman yung approach na gusto ng Blcklist International, while Mnne Evos dahil CC and Angela yung combo nila, it's a little bit more scrappy. Magtataka yung Blacklist International, saan manggagaling yung Mnne Evos? Where will Kirk be? Nakita natin yun at one point. While Mnne Evos was trying to defend and Blacklist International was starting to understand na hindi ganun kadali tapusin ang laban na to kontra sa lineup nila dahil hindi natin alam masyado kung saan sila nanggagaling. Rich Guy, the carry, it's gonna be Domeng, of course, our MVP, and Kaizen here. If Sensui earlier, he showed na I am one of these standards, maybe even the standard for what a utility jungler is. Be a frontline for your team, absorb damage. Sabi ni Kaizen, kaya ko rin yan. 224,000 damage taken. A total assist for Spider Miles of 13. Again, Angela and CC together kept Mnne Evos alive. Kaizen with clutch heavy spins to get the right routes para ma-disrupt din yung pag-enter ni Edward. And remember that one play, that pick-off in the mid where a good sense by Kaizen. Parang alam nila, feeling ko may tao dito. I think we have the vision, we have the info. Typical understanding of Blacklist International formations. Pagdating sa Lord fight, let's heavy spin right here. As you look at the damage dealt, point proven. Kirk, 83,000 and 700 damage dealt. Second to the Leslie. A lineup, again, that will make you scratch your heads. Why this? Why this pick? This very last one. Mnne Evos showed us how to make it work. And now we are here. Two teams, again, with very similar play styles. The original writer of the code, the Fighting Healers. Whoever loses
teams, Blacklist International, Mnne Evos, it's come down to one single game. And we are now heading off into the drafting phase. Let's take a look here. Blacklist on the blue side. Are they going for the Fredrin? It is open.
Yep, for sure.
All right. He says it himself. You see value in me? Yes, clearly we do.
Everybody sees value in you, Fredrin boy.
All right, so do they force the Moskov again? Do they go first pick Moskov?
Why not?
Yep.
Why not?
Do they go Moskov Novaria?
I had to check the bands, yeah. Yes.
Right?
At the same time, you also have to pick it up here because Blacklist has shown that they're very willing to also pick it up for themselves.
Yeah. More the Moskov. The Novaria, between that and the Vex, 4 out of 5 times, you're always going to pick up the Vex.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
There's
so
also a chance of you picking up the Faramis, right?
Oh, wow.
Let's banned out.
okay, they're going Barretts.
How about neither?
Vex.
They steal away the Vex!
Steal the Vex!
Okay. So far, Barat has lost against Fred, right? Like that's a proven matchup. Because again, Fred does not have any bad matchups. But the Vex steal, I bet this Vex is Coach Bosch. I was like, oh, yo, we didn't expect that.
We didn't expect them to attack Yue on the draft.
Yeah, because Yue is a comfortable factor for Blacklist. Like he's pretty solid. He's a foundation in their strategy, in their campaign in Season 13 so far. But now, what's the play?
Okay, the play here, I think because you have this mid lane locked in, do you want to go ahead and secure yourselves your mid lane as well? Giving you freedom to utilize that. That's going to be, all right, that's Edith. That's locked in. And the Moskov.
There you go.
Yes, of course.
Okay, Edith for Haji. We saw some amazing things from that in the previous games in the series.
Yeah.
Moskov being locked in once again for Oheb here.
I'm about 95%. I'm 95% sure this is not gonna flex.
The which one?
The Edith.
The
Yeah. It's likely on Haji. So now do we see Miles pick up the roam here? Something I've learned so far. The Minotaur's out there, by the way. Do you want a Minotaur?
That sounds like
That's a huge.
That's a huge.
Okay, wow. I was gonna say a trend that I've seen from Mnne Evos post-patch. Again, their first time here on an MPL stage once more after the break. They're willing to flex on Miles now. They no longer have to babysit him in the draft.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then we were talking about, like, what does Mnne Evos look like post-patch? It does show, like, they're more deliberate with their choices. They're not afraid of any draft, shenanigans.
And there's a lot of calculated risks that they're taking that more than half the time now, again, are paying off.
Interesting, too. So this whole series, we haven't been able to see the Hellcurt pop up.
100%.
So 100% ban on that for now. No team wants to take that risk. And if you think about it, like at this point in Game 5, this is crucial. So far from what I'm seeing, it's more of let's go back to our basics, at least for now, at least for the first phase. And what kind of changes will happen for second phase? Like, that's where it happens. And when you come down to these last couple bans, of course, you want to focus and narrow things down for the mid lane. For Mnne Evos, they go to Novaria. They're focusing on what roams could pop up again.
You see that? I love it. Coach Bonchan respecting what they've seen prior in this series. Folks, if you just joined us now, quick reminder, Mnne Evos pulled off the double mage roam setup.
Yeah.
They put a Novaria on Spider Miles and then a Valentina on Lancey and won. So now they're like, all right, you know what? Maybe we should ban the Minotaur next. I reckon that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Minotaur just seems so good, especially against heroes like the Fredrin and maybe the Moskov.
Yeah.
Right? So you kind of have to disrupt these heroes the way that before they disrupt you.
Yeah.
Yep. And even if this is most likely an Edith on Haji in the roam, the onward is actually to your benefit. Like, he puts you in a position wherein you're better with the Minnow and Fury.
Whew. We'll see if that ends up being flexed or not, but still last ban here.
It's a Minnow ban. I think I heard Manjin say, yeah, it's a Minnow ban.
Yeah, it's a Minnow ban.
It's gotta be. Wait, do we see it from here?
Well, he says that.
Oh, no, we don't. We don't see it from here. It's on the other side. It's on blue side, folks, of the Champions Arena.
All right, so Minotaur definitely, like, we all put up really good points for it. Just do it, Bon.
Just do it.
Just do it.
No, they went Nathan.
Okay. So they're willing to let that through then.
You know what that means? A very tanky front line here.
That's amazing.
For Banana.
Most teams in Season 13 actually flex the roam as their last pick on red because you allow for, again, you're protecting what your roster can do, what your lineup can do. But here, even Domin can flex.
Domin could, if he wants to. But I don't know, man. At this point, it's the bans for the second phase worked out really well, and I think for gold lane matched up against the Moskov, it's like, do you want to just go the Klon? Do you want to roll
Leslie
that?
again.
Oh no, he's gonna do it again.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. He's
He's
feeling
on
good.
fire.
Okay.
100%
win rate.
Not wrong. The numbers don't lie. Okay, so here we go.
Once.
What's getting on Abun Jing Jing and what is going to be in viewers' hands? Lilia's still out there.
CC is CC banned?
Lilia Gord. No, CC's actually open.
CC's available.
I'm wondering if too, like with that pickup, Leslie being picked up again, if for some reason we see the Edith flexed. Like, if that happens, right?
Yes.
We see Edward pick it up for some reason, maybe Haji. I'm still leaning towards Haji having that Edith. But let's exactly see what Blcklist wants to do here, dealing with this Leslie. So that is a Farsa. We're throwing it back.
I missed this hero, honestly, but...
And a
And the
Paquito.
back, there
All
you
right.
go.
Yeah, you know what? That's just going to burst the Leslie wide open.
Big burst. Champ stance in the champion arena.
Just find her and just pow.
Pacquiao.
At
All right.
the same time, that's also a lot of investment
Terry
into the
Bogard.
Leslie. Terry Bogard.
That's right. Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
It's a lot of investment on the Leslie, and now with this pickup, with these, oh dear Lord, with these two pickups in the last phase of the blue side for Blacklist, they're forcing Mnne Evos to think twice about that Leslie pick. It could have been in that last pick, honestly.
It could have.
It could have.
Because this time, too, you don't have a hard guard to help you.
Or is it a trap? Minana wants them to over-fixate on the Leslie.
Is this a Florian? What is
Is that
this?
Angela?
Oh!
Lolita!
Wow.
Wait.
A Lolita. A
Lolita.
debut pick in Game 5.
What's the Lolita here to block?
Against Moscow.
Moskov.
Normal
Yeah,
attacks.
number one, Moskov.
That's all.
Some of the
Some of the-
projectiles from Edith and Farsa.
Yes.
Is it that bad?
It's too much. I think that might be an overload. I think that's overreacting. I don't know. The shield's just not the same as it used to.
Yeah.
It doesn't last as long.
All right, it looks like Mnne Evos is confident with their roster
Let's see.
and their lineup. And this is down the wire again, just .30 between both roster lineup ratings. I'm not Vengeance Incarnate, but I'm wondering if the Barats can finally get one over the Fredrin, man.
Oh,
because
man.
both sides are pretty spicy.
We're going to find out here once again with a lineup from Mnne Evos that you are not expecting. Can this be enough to pull them ahead and move on to the next part of the play-in stage? Or will Blacklist International be able to be the ones to turn things around and go on forward after what just happened in Game 4? It all comes down to this final game for Blacklist and for Mnne Evos.
Only one may stand. Check out Spider Miles' concussive blast here, helping clear waves quickly. And Mnne, it's not the first farce of the regular season of the season, season 13 rather, but it's still rocking the usual mage, rupture, and then wilderness blessing. As for the Lolita, it's a whoa, interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Support emblem.
Little regen focus there, and also cooldown reduction, right? You want to be able to go ahead, and that's one of the great things about Lolita is the CC potential.
Also, it has the favor boots, not conceal.
Heal?
Yeah.
Shields, right?
Because she has a passive, and then
the shield, yeah, the
and
shield
then she
heals.
can also do it. She also has shields on demand. Oh, all right.
Kaizen. He's not going to land that. His tone is welcome, so just battling it out here. But yeah, that's it. I guess that you really have to just kind of see it in action, right? That's kind of what you're going to have to see, and that's why this is, in a way, it's almost a risk that Spider-Miles locks us in, but maybe this is something they've been holding on to, and it's what better time to pull it through and see if it works out here for Mnne Evos. And that makes it even kind of a little bit harder, I would say, for Oheb on the Moskov. Now knowing that if I enter into this fight on these crucial moments within later portions of the game with the spear, even though I have a Purify, I have...
Whoa!
Hold on, Haji?
Yep, decision has been made onto the small Barretts there, and Edward gets first blood. Instant activation coming in from the shot calls of Haji.
Joseph, you were saying?
Yep, and that's most likely going to be a turtle. But again, Oheb will have to work against the shields obviously being utilized with Spider Miles. That's just going to be an objective for them. What a perfect hero. Oh, Doming still going to be alive.
Oh, wow. And then Oheb can just freeze here. Oh, no, he's just bum rush. I think he wants to go for plates. They're going to try to isolate Doming. Oh, just out of range. Just out of range.
Barely.
Whew, that's calculated. He knows. He's got to be that far away.
Look at all the gold on Oheb now.
Well, that's a lot.
There we go.
Oheb already picking up that first item. Wow.
Just a reminder that shield will break after taking 1,000 damage and plus 15% of the total HP of the Lolita. So it's not as good as before.
Look at the gold.
Obviously it reflects,
right?
But it's not the effect you're looking for. Anyway, we'll see how that looks later.
Thinking about how that... Oh, wait, Oheb.
Oheb getting gold in here. Nominal blast just for good measure.
Good Purify.
He hit the P, man. He hit the P.
Yep. Good usage there, and so they get that out, 80 seconds before he has that next available to him. So he's got to be very defensive here. As you see a lot of this attention now on this bottom side to help Doming up. Again, that's kind of the job. It's like, all right, we have to almost emulate what we did in the previous game to allow Doming to scale up the way he needs to be. I'm wondering if his build path is going to be very similar that we saw in the previous one. Hold on.
And there you go, Blacklist. Think, you know what, maybe we can take this fight. And they are going to find Kaizen for their efforts.
That's a tight little corridor that even an early game Moscow would love. And this is straight up Ube again. In this 5-game series alone, I think Blacklist has gone Ube and turned the clock. I don't know if it's because of the presence of their former teammates that's allowing for them to do this.
Okay, this is, they go in again. Haji
go straight onto it. Oh my goodness, Doming didn't even last a second there. And it is only going to be a tower kill here for Mnne. Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, we didn't check in on the XP lane as much, but looking at the XP, looking at the waves, and looking at how Kaizen tried to help Kirk, Edward's doing fine. Edward's actually winning this lane.
That's true. Doesn't need as much help as other lanes here.
Yeah, so that means he's bobbing and weaving between Kirk's full skill set.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this.
Gonna be jumping in, Edward. He's actually in a really bad spot here, but buys just enough time for his teammates to actually get that turtle.
Man, what a distraction He is, for Edward, on this Paquito. We've seen him do it time and time again, and in fashion this time around, of course. It's hard to really find a moment if you're Mnne Evos when all these things, not just in one lane, but across the map, are falling apart.
And I think Mnne Evos, I mean, I believe even in that position they could have killed Edward, right? But even that was a failed rotation. Even that was a failed attempt. So all the more Blacklist barreling on forward. 3,000 gold ahead. And a good chunk of it is on OHEB.
3,000 gold ahead. And with that, look at things falling into place here item-wise.
Dear Lord, 5 minutes in, approaching 6, and he's already got 2 core items.
Uh-oh.
And there you go. They're hunting for Kirk once more.
Oh, Kirk.
Easy killings, easy pickings, looking like it for Blacklist right now. Kirk had no opportunity to fight, even though he just actually built in his item.
And that's the danger of that Paquito locked in for Edward as well.
Kirk did not have Petrify off of cooldown. Was like 5 seconds off since he died. So something tells me he was waiting for that. And Blacklist timed well. Again, growing this lead. Approaching 4,000 gold now. And the pressure doesn't let out.
The Farsa hunting down that Leslie. It's a tale as old as time. It's happening here again.
It makes you wonder, going back to the draft again, they could have held off on that Leslie pick. And they locked it in that first pick of the second phase. And they're getting punished for it here. There's no areas to work on this bottom side. Doming again will be able to spot them out. But look at the turret. It's just going to be demolished by OHEB.
They're going stop to stop, man. It's a journey, it's a trip. And they're just taking pictures with turrets and then breaking them down. Something to note, Sensui just built his Guardian helmet, and that's going to allow for him to, unless he took fatal damage, to just keep going. Again, moving from stop to stop.
My golly. These feathered airstrikes are hitting like tanks.
Yeah, that's something you kind of forget. You don't see Farsa often anymore, but you remember real fast the burst damage, the big dam she provides.
And that's 100% turtle take rate for Blacklist in this final game, Game 5. Looking at the items once more. Oh!
He's in there trying to look for trouble.
Wow, OHEB is up.
Fighting back here.
OHEB's up 2,000 gold, man. That's a full item.
Look up on the mid. Mnne looking like they're ready to go for the kill. Kirk close by. Sensui dashes in on him though. And again, the crowd control chain. He can't move. Kirk can't cast the skill, man. What was that?
Nothing, not an ult, not a petrify.
Kirk can't play.
Let Kirk play.
Let Kirk play.
All right.
We need him for Mnne Evos here.
Doming is so far behind. Doming can't farm, man. Oh, wow, the DG on you.
Oh, that is
He can
tough.
do it here.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. Look at the damage on the Lolita, even with the shields.
That is pure zoning.
The Lolita was an odd pick. Its first item, too, was a photo. I wonder what the game plan is here.
If you think about it, it's like, all right, we want shields, but what happens when there's just so much damage that the shields don't matter?
Yeah, Spider Mouse, unfortunately, very much a non-factor at this point.
And they just time it out. Look, they see the bulwark and they just let it go. Oh, Edward.
Catch Edward, though.
Edward.
How is he? Okay, he goes down.
Shaw.
Essence.
That's right.
And there you go. Everyone just make sure that they can protect Yue while he is on feather airstrike.
Okay, given the fact that this is a 6,000, almost 6.5 lead for Blacklist International, we cannot count out what happened in the previous game. They had an 8K lead, but this feels a little different this time around. This feels like a little more struggle for Mnne Evos to actually pull this one on its head again, like pull it over in their favor. What is that going to take here? We know that they're massively behind on multiple fronts.
Yeah, again, given Mnne Evos' lineup in Game 4, they had the out. The utility that their roster had was through the roof. They were able to scatter, disperse, and target specifically Blacklist. But now Mnne Evos, they're all over the place in the wrong ways. They have good AoE fights because of the Lolita. They have target acquisition with the Yu Zhong. And it's so hard to be a Barat in the face of a Fredrin and a Farsa that can hold you down and kill you even before you see the artillery.
Yeah, Doming, it's so hard for people like Doming to actually get in a comfortable position because there's just no safe place for him.
Yeah, and that's part of it is like, for Doming this time around, you really don't have much except the flicker. And as soon as you use that, you're almost a sitting duck for them to take. So the amount of defense that Doming needs here is crucial. Now, if they get to this point where, okay, we're once again going to be in that position where we got to just defend in our base, somehow pull a miracle off with this lineup, then hopefully they're able to pull that off. But even this, Oheb picks up the hotspots. He now has that sustainability, that healing to help them out even further here. So already they prep up for a Mnne Evos. Let's see if they can defend.
Down goes Feather Airstrike. Again, damage has been done, but this is going to be Kirk trying to cancel out the ult. And that's the classic interaction, right? You go in for the Black Dragon form and the Feather Airstrike, you cancel it out. But the push is already done here for Blacklist, it seems.
All right, good defense by Mnne Evos. They're going to keep their inhibitors, and they're going to keep Blacklist International at bay. But for how long?
They're trying to get more.
Hey, they hold on.
Yeah.
Mnne Evos is making it happen right now. Look at the damage.
Good damage.
Yeah.
And Yue back off cooldown here. This time around, does feel like Mnne still packs a lot of punch here in this lineup.
All right. I'd like to mention something else that Mnne Evos might have to worry about, especially since they're starting to be able to move out of their base, at least for now. Their vision comes at a very steep price. Spider-Mouse has to be up close and also protect Doming. But again, we've made it a clear point that Doming is so good at protecting Doming that maybe he can be independent. But after that, the only other semblance of vision that Mnne Evos has is Lancy throwing random skills into bushes. And then maybe, on another asterisk note, is Kirk with the Black Dragon form. But that means you spent your ult. So where do you go if you're Mnne Evos? It's so tough to hold out. That means they have to, again, once more, go into a defensive mindset.
Yeah, I'm thinking like another 8 minutes. 6 to 8 minutes for Mnne Evos here, which might mean they give up even the next Lord, let that get taken, work in their base.
Which worked well for them in Game 4. So that means it's better if they make that decision now and play for that outcome. As for the other side, Blacks International, they have to understand that that's what Mnne Evos is going for, and that's what will benefit them the most. Go for the juggler. Man, end it as quick as possible.
And with that, Lord's going to come up. It's going to go ahead and spawn Mnne Evos. We saw them getting in position at least to try to have something to work with, but ultimately I just think, again, they go ahead, let that get taken, and get ready for this defense real quick. The Lord is going to be taken down. Of course, with the type of firepower and itemization that Blacklist has with a nearly 10,000 gold lead. So we'll see if Mnne Evos has enough in the tank to defend once again at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is more on, is there a possibility of Mnne making pickoffs here when everyone's inside the base? And what are the tools they have to make those pickoffs happen? A Turtle Guard, maybe a new Mnne Blast Catch. Very conditional, right?
Yep.
Because you don't want to throw Kzen in front.
Yes. If Blacklist gets picked off, whose fault is that? Blacklist.
Blacklist.
Right?
Yes,
Mnne
exactly.
Evos has no way to displace heroes in a way that will not hurt them in return. So here we go. They're going to go for the break. Oh, something's going to give.
Yeah, something's got to give here for sure. Sensui is going to back off, going back into a defensive position. Edwards on top side. He is working on that turret. And the fight is still happening here. Oheb is going to be called out. And this time Yue getting chased out by Kirk. This time Haji. But the backup allows the kill to happen for Yue. And now Mnne are back on the defense, clearing that Lord. Losing on 2 inhibitor turrets.
Still a 2 for 2. They lose to inhibitors, yes. But that just explains how well Mnne Evos understand their defensive state right now.
Yep.
They took 2 on the way out, Sensui and Oheb. And did not die.
They
didn't lose.
They didn't lose, and so that kind of thing can happen one more time, I would say. And if it does slip through, but you see this, right? You see the damage being pumped out by Doming. As long as he is alive, he's working on the BOD, I believe, now. He's already got that, he's got the Berserker Tree, he's got the Endless Battle, he's got the Sea Halberd, so BOD locked in will be a huge threat, unless he goes, of course, for Wind of Nature to deal with some of that defensive ability. But right now, this is crucial for Mnne Evos. They have to stick together, they cannot let it picked off, they cannot deal with losing anyone right now. And you can see the shields provided with this Lolita, with that Flask of the Oasis as well, it could end up helping them, you know, sustain through some of that fights. And then that's where really the CC comes in. The Eternal Guard. Hold on.
Pretty big. You went for the bush check.
Y'all saw that, yeah?
Yeah.
That was a Queen's Wings on Lolita.
Queen's Wings
Can't
locked
confirm,
in.
yeah, it's
The
real.
shields are huge.
The shields.
there.
Oh,
And look at this. It's going to be another one charged up. Haji this time is going to be in
Oh.
trouble. Where's the backup coming in from Blacklist? It does not seem to be ready as Haji will fall to Doming. And Sui up on front has the ability to maybe pull off some good exit frags. Now it is going to be Oheb not able to get in position.
Team fight excellence from Mnne Evos.
this is looking a whole lot like the makings of the previous game in a different fashion.
It's deja vu, folks.
Deja vu. What is going on here?
And where is that damage coming from? Y'all saw how when Kirk landed, you could have sworn he was going to die. He just, I don't know if he did it or if Lancey did it, chunked down the 3 members of Blacklist around him.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
But they're going for it.
For it. And right now, it is going to be Blacklist this time around going in first.
Oh,
but look
Sensui.
at HP of Sensui not hitting anyone
dead.
with the freezer snap. That's Juggler down. It's 4v5. Kirk falls.
Oh.
It's a 4v4. Kazin gets that Lord. But the chase is on. Blacklist.
Oh, do they want
get
to fight
more.
it? Oh, Edward's on the hunt.
Edward's on the hunt.
Abu Jingjing.
Abu Jingjing looking for Doming maybe.
Spotted.
But the Lord is
Spotted.
going to be there.
He had the flicker. He was contemplating. But right now, they got to clear this Lord. They got to deal with it. Look at the damage. Woo! What?
That is spicy. Oh my golly.
Miles.
Miles in trouble here, not having the shield up anymore. Crowd goes wild. And there goes the shielding and the healing provided by the Lolita.
Oh no, this is tough here.
I think
Mnne
Blacklist
Evos.
making the call.
I just making the call here. 4v3. Not much wave clear available for them except for Latsi. And Blacklist fans are roaring. And this time around, they are going to be the ones to push into the play-in, furthering the attack.
And everybody on the Blacklist International side, the agents can breathe as it looked so close for them, but they will win the series 3-2.
GG well played for Mnne Evos. The ball came out to support them, and it came so close, the wire. Could have sworn they were going to make Game 5, Game 4 all over again and upset the whole MLBB esports world.
You see UA?
It did feel like
man.
it, right? It did feel like it's Game 4 all over again.
Oh man, it did. It got so close. And even at the end there, when it looked like Mnne Evos was going to be able to turn things around again, Spider Miles gets taken out. You saw the damage from the Moskov.
Too much.
Oh man, it came down to the wire here.
They went all 5 games, all the tricks up their sleeves. The silver bullet Leslie from Doming. Even the Lolita from Spider Miles, which it was so close to working out. And again, there was very little deaths on Spider Miles. I could have sworn I owe him an apology, but today only one team moves forth through the first round of the play-ins. Congratulations to Blacklist International.
Man, I got to take a breather for that. I was holding on the edge of my seat.
I could have sworn if Miles didn't die there, I could have been good.
Well, again, let's go ahead and throw it over on stage with our host Hans and Mara to hear from our teams.
Thank you, Mnne Evos, for giving it your all this season para sa tagumpay.
Mnne Evos, what is your final message? You're hearing the applauses from everybody in the audience. A final message for this season.
Ayun, yung story din, no? Before, kasi we're just manifesting and to be part of the pro scene, no? And sabihin ko na lang din, biggest inspiration namin talaga Blacklist. Bago pa kami nag-start, it's a huge privilege for us to fight in this huge crowd. Grabe yung energy. Sana nag-enjoy. Lahat na pumunta, sulit. Rooting for Blacklist. Thank you so much. Kay Trike. Andyan, tol. Ako, sobrang proud ako sa team. Pumiglas kami. Nalabas namin lahat ng kailangan namin ilabas. No regrets. Diba? Kaya sabi ko, thank you so much talaga sa mga nandito sa venue. And di pa rin, tuloy pa rin yun, pangarap. Thank you sa opportunity.
And thank you, Mnne Evos. Tuloy pa rin ang inyong pangarap next season. Mnne Evos, you may now take your bow. And your journey ends here. Let's give them a big round of applause, everybody. And now, let's call in the winner of our first play-ins, Blcklist International. Congratulations to Blcklist International.
First off, Sensui, I'm gonna give you the floor. Nagkaroon kayo ng 2 linggong break. Technically, all of the other teams had a 2-week break. Paano kayo naghanda to showcase this kind of play pagdating ng playoffs?
Nag-scrim na po kami, tas hindi na rin po kami nag-day off. Tuloy-tuloy lang po yung practice namin. Parang dinedicate po talaga namin yung 2 weeks para sa practice lang.
Practice, they got what they wanted, Mara. Nakuha nila itong panalo na to to continue their run in MPL Philippines.
Oheb, congratulations! Now, we've seen a lot of Moscov in this series compared sa ating regular season. How good is Moscov in the meta right now?
Kasi parang yung nagiging meta kasi ngayon palakasan ng scaling Kung sino yung mas malakas na scaling hero sa Golden, parang sila yung mas nananalo sa late game Kaya parang naging meta si Moscov kasi maganda yung scaling niya. Nakakapalag siya sa mga scaling na Nathan at Kalod.
O tips naman para sa mga manonood natin.
Farm lang.
Farm lang. Farm lang yan. Yan yung sagot doon.
2 words. This time around, Haji. I think I don't need to say anything more, but I'm gonna ask you this question, G. With the gauntlet format, of course, you got the win today against Mnne Evos, pero hindi pa tapos ang araw ng Blcklist International because in just a few hours or in a few minutes, kakalabanin nyo ang Fnatic Onyx Philippines. How is the team holding up after this win? Kamusta ang mindset ng team?
Siguro mindset namin ngayon, kailangan muna namin magpahinga Nakapagod.
Napagod ka?
Oo, nakapagod.
Ngayon na nanalo na kayo sa inyong first match. Would you say na yung mga challenges sa shot calling ng regular season na-solve na ba? Ito na ba ang best mode ng Blcklist International?
Tingin ko kulang pa rin kasi nga yun nga, nagkaka-error pa rin kami ganun. Hindi namin masyado maklose yung game. So tingin ko may improve pa kami.
May improve pa daw.
I see it. Well, I just want to ask one more question from someone with a fresh cut, Edward. We see it. I think kita nilang lahat. Word. Now, I know you guys have played 5 games. Pero para sa'yo ba, how does this feel for you? Is this an advantage for you guys na meron kayong momentum heading into the game mamaya? Or is this the other way around or the complete opposite? What do you think?
Siguro, advantage kasi may momentum na kami tsaka nakapag-warm up na ng sobra para mamaya sa Onyx.
Seems like they're ready, Mara.
Edward, shoutout naman sa lahat ng mga agents here, lahat ng mga fans na nanonood. Shoutout!
Shoutout sa inyo, agents.
Congratulations once again to Blcklist International. You may now take your bow and take your walk of victory. Blcklist International. Moving on sa next round.
They're still in the running. And just like in Season 12, they want to make sure that they'll leave a mark. Same, probably a major lower bracket run.
And we're gonna break it down for you, so we're gonna go to our analyst. Ranmar, pasok.
Blacklist International advance to the next play-in game. But before we talk about that, kailangan natin pag-usapan ano nangyari sa game number 5. And we have to start first with showing who the MVP is and discussing the key to victory for both teams. MVP, game number 5 is going to be US! 5-0-4, and you have to respect Blacklist International for taking it back to basics. There was a time where teams were thinking, ibalik nga natin yung Leslie, and then there was a time people said, pick na lang kayo ng Farsa, mahirapan ang isang Leslie. And we saw it from the rotations of Blacklist International. To put it simply, it's like Farsa going up against a Diggy. Every time may chance ka na makita mo yung Diggy, you pop the ultimate to force out the time's journey to clear waves. For Blacklist International, US assignment was simple. Pumunta ka sa gold lane, use the feathered airstrike para ma-zone out si Domeng, and to delay the farm of the Leslie as long as possible para makapag-ikot tayo as 4, as 5, so that Mnne Evos will be busy trying to make a comeback with gold, maghanap ng farm. At yun nga ang nakita natin for the majority of the game. Especially in the early game, Domeng had the toughest time as a Leslie against the lineup with one key pick. That last phase pick, Farsa, paired up alongside the Paquito. Napredict yun ng mga casters on the Filipino broadcast, and they mentioned that the burst for the Leslie will be deadly kung maabot nila. And majority of the game, they don't need to worry because they have the Farsa with them. But then Mnne Evos, kumapit sila. Their kapit gaming strategy that we saw. And even though merong Farsa na pwede magbigay ng daming hirap sa buhay ng isang Leslie, well, Mnne Evos started dealing with the Farsa. And nararamdaman na ng Blacklist International yung damage ng isang Leslie. But as you look at the highlights, especially this key fight, we go and revisit the key to victory, the Infinix key to victory for both teams. Mahaba ang serye na to. This is a long series. Adjust and adapt accordingly. And that is the theme of the story of Mnne Evos versus Blacklist International for this series. Both of them adjusted and adapted accordingly. Whether it's in the draft, whether it's in the picks, whether it's in the fights. And we saw especially in that last Lord fight, it really looked good for Mnne Evos. Akala na natin this is their chance to take a good hold of the game to push out. But then, Blacklist adjusted and adapted to the positionings of Mnne Evos, leading to Blacklist taking this at 17 minutes and 16 seconds. Rupture was the emblem talent picked up there by Yue. Of course, very traditional for a Farsa to pick up. And interestingly enough, in terms of the item build path, very unique. Prioritizing the Lightning Truncheon right away to get that cooldown reduction. And of course, the boots for magic penetration, rushing it into a Divine Glaive, knowing that may kalaban pa rin tayong Barats, we still have the Leslie and even the Yu Zhong to worry about. Dahil yung mga miyembro ng Mnne Evos, specifically Kaizen, nag-prioritize siya na mag-build ng Athena Shield. Sabi dito ni Yue, mag-build na lang ako ng Divine Glaive kagad and then go into the Holy Crystal and then into the Blood Wings. That's why ang dami nagtataka, ba't ang sakit na ni Yue? Great itemization from Yue. Prioritization of items was correct for the mid laner of Blacklist International. 784 GPM for OHEB, and of course, the majority of the damage shared with you at 10,000 in the lead. But, and I want to hammer this point on, just how close this game was, especially there in the end. Kung mas linis lang yung approach ng Mnne Evos in that final Lord fight, nakakahabol na sa damage ang Mnne Evos. The Leslie and the Vexana together, they were starting to feel the pain and the damage of both. What a story and what a series to start off what we are labeling as the closest season so far. If you doubted that, you were just treated